weighted average price. So this one feels like it's being caught up by the shorts here. Trying to hold that $6 VWAP on this one for 875. Anybody looking for a reversion trade? Time for me to go, baby.
Are you excited?
Time for me to go.
Are you excited?
I'm going straight home. We're gonna start packing the bags.
Yeah. Are you excited yet, or what?
Yeah, I am excited. I'm
gonna get
getting
that
some sleep on the airplane.
Oh, okay. You got the second wave of energy, the airport.
the airport energy. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So Obe in with Joey tomorrow and on Friday as well. He'll be covering for me until next Thursday. I will be back Friday next week, guys. We'll see everybody then. Stay green, baby.
Peace.
All right, yeah. Safe travels to Sharif. I didn't even realize it was that was happening. Like, it's middle of the week already. This is just amazing how fast time flies.
The Fed meeting minutes just out.
Yeah. So watching these futures here, what's going on? I think there was some notes there. We'll get it from Adair or Sia or whoever's covering that.
She'll get it.
But so I just went short again. Like, I was basically back and forth with Moderna again off this 25 period moving average. Once we broke back down below, we went short. So we're short Moderna. All right, Adair, what do those sound like, those minutes?
There's nothing, I wouldn't say that's super shocking here. One thing that I'm seeing highlighted is that no decisions were made on the number of Fed meetings that are going to happen going forward. Fed Chair Warsh indicated there's not going to be any change to the 2026 schedule. Now, that could be a good look because that indicates at least some sense of stability in a Fed that has seen tons of changes, including a whole bunch of task force announcements. So to me, that would be the reason that we might get, as you can see here, this market bounce. But it is worth noting that other than that, it seems pretty hawkish here. A few participants who favored raising rates at the meeting, I'm assuming including the 3 that voted in favor of a hike, judged that doing so would likely help stall the need for further hikes. Now, this actually echoes comments made by the 3 Feds that voted in favor of the hike. That would be Logan, Kashkari, and Hammock. So this totally tracks. There's nothing shocking there. Yeah, guys, honestly, I'm not seeing too much here other than, I guess, the idea that the number of rates isn't going to be, or number of meetings isn't going to be changed right away, though Warsh does say he favors 6 meetings rather than 8 meetings. Yeah, guys, it's a little bit hawkish out here. That's the best summary I have. Back to you.
Well, let me just. I mean, we're long, so we'll take that as it continues to go higher. There, we just get long 72 again for a couple times today, and bring it all the way back up into long, not at this price, but at these levels there, $72. So up a little bit now to 72.60. So yeah, not so bad there. On the first little take of these. Yeah, almost back. We'll see if the Nasdaq. Oh, there it goes. Just went green right now.
Most backed holding rates in July. Several favored a hike. You know what? It's not a crazy update out of the minutes, but at least we're getting some updates out of Orogenics, everybody. That's ticker OGN. They're on the NYSE American. The company's activated their phase 2A clinical trial in Australia with its first site fully operational and with patient dosing expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury, an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Orogenics has spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. The focus now shifts to execution with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. That's OGN on the NYSE American. Maybe we can get something to help Vladdy out as he sits on the concussion protocol, although it's helped the team a little bit here. You know what? There's a few things that stood out today. If you happen to be looking at anything crypto related, it's not a chart of Moderna. This is what was going on in BMNR, in ETH, today up 9 points. IBIT, which obviously, who's going to know it's going to go that ridiculous to see 68,000, which we're above right now, which is absolute insanity. So yeah, they're not Moderna charts, but that's what it is. A name that was in sympathy. I was in this one when I left you guys, but this is a different trade in Novavax. That one busted VWAP, and then something, I don't know, I was on my walk. I had my trailing stop in, which did get tagged. And then you look at this, it goes right up. Not when Moderna made its move higher, but Moderna was bouncing off VWAP from about 11 o'clock, and I guess it was this higher low that just pushed it in, and then it double topped. So once the double top was in, I've shorted it, kind of confirming the high, and we'll look for the VWAP retrace on Novavax. But just strong moves. Obviously, I'm gonna say led by Moderna if we're being real about it. I don't think Novavax is doing anything today if it's not for Moderna. So a sympathy play nonetheless. Still want to have a look at some of the metals. It wasn't crazy, as crazy as what you saw in Bitcoin, but gold and silver have been pretty spectacular here today. I feel like we're making some lower highs and there could be some reversion plays. Like there's gold triple top on GLD and silver's been lagging. So my first thought is, if we get a shot, we're long early, but I'm looking for like a fail off the high in SLV if we're able to catch it. So yeah, that's what we got to keep an eye on this morning. I guess the theme was like with what the Treasury did, you're like, okay, well, risk assets back on, but then the market sold and just kind of kept selling. And then all of a sudden, like you saw like the move in Bitcoin, okay, that fits the theme of risk on, but then why weren't a bunch of other things going? It's almost as if there was some benefit to like, oh, that's a desperation move by the Treasury. Here's what you can't just print to prop up and be and scare everybody more. Bitcoin is only 21 million. All of a sudden, we're going to consider it a good store value and a risk asset, and it gets better. I don't know if that's the case. Maybe it was a bunch of shorts saying, you know what, we're not going to mess around with this. Let's just get out of all the crypto shorts. Whatever it was, it's not something that on the surface made obvious sense as it was rallying like much more than the overall market. I don't think there was anybody that saw that coming. And if you did, hey, if anybody saw that coming on Bitcoin, like let me know what your thesis was as to why you thought that Treasury move was going to cause today's action. Let's go back up to the desk, Adara.
Yeah, I'm still parsing through those meeting minutes here. There's nothing, again, I would say that's too shocking, just that if they do change the number of meetings, it's not going to happen until later. There was some hawkishness, and those who are hawkish feel that it makes sense to hike rates now so that we don't have to hike more later. Again, this is what we heard from the three feds that voted in favor of the hike in the first place, but I just want to let you guys know I'm keeping an eye on that, and I'm still reading through the minutes. Also want to let you guys know at 2:30 p.m., so exactly 23 minutes from now, if he's on time, President Trump will be holding a meeting with tech leaders. Now, which tech leaders? I don't know yet. Once we get a look of who's going to be there, I'll keep you guys posted. I personally have some bets here just based on who he usually speaks with. I suspect that Dina McCormick Powell of Meta will be there. She was actually formerly a member of the Trump administration, I believe, back in 1.0, 2016 to 2020. So it will make sense if she's there. She's been at a couple other events with him as well. You've also got Michael Dell of Dell Technologies. He's very likely to be present too. I don't know who else is going to be there, and I can't even confirm those two will be there, but I would say keep an eye potentially on Dell and Meta when that event begins. The second I get any sense of who's going to be there, I'll keep you posted. I'm also seeing comments from U.S. CENTCOM, so Central Command, saying that as of August 19th, forces in the U.S. have redirected 65 commercial vessels, disabled 3 vessels, and boarded 2 vessels to ensure compliance. I see that drop in the market. I'm not seeing anything yet as to why, but before I let you guys go, I'll check on Truth Social, and last time we posted was an hour ago. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Yeah, we're just looking. We've missed now. Like I was at 152. It keeps on stopping at 152.50. So I'm back at 152.50, trying to take about $3 on the last little bit of this Moderna trade. And then I was still bidding 151s. So I don't know if that's how you like your rum or whatever, but
that's how Shrev's gonna be having.
Yeah, 151 proof over there. So we'll see what that winds up happening to the downside. And then there we go. We just take it out. Like we get long at 04s. We got out on the way up. We were holding a little bit, and it just falls right back into our lap there for the NASDAQ and getting punched out of that one, which is completely fine. We will watch for this market to bleed through. It's now $3 in the money on Moderna. And again, I think I'm not even going to bid. Actually, I canceled my 151s. So now let's wait to see how low can we go on this one. I mean, we ran it high side. We marked down earlier today, VWAP. We like that as a potential hold area. So that's 140. So I'm going to go. What is a 200 period? 148. All right, let's put a bid right now at 148.50. Maybe we can sit there and see if we can capture that again. So right now we're in the money $7-8, and we talked about you want to trade names that have liquidity, you want to trade names that have news, you want to trade names that are moving around. Well, check, and more checks. Sirens up. It's Moderna today. Hits all of those metrics. So watch out now. The slippage is not even bad on Moderna. So, lots of, there it goes, man. Now $5 in the money. Like this has just been a dream to trade, especially if your style is a little more aggressive. And there it goes to the downside right now. There it is, 149. Did we get that? No, 148.50 right now. We're $5. We're $5 in the, I get it. Right there. We'll see if it goes down to the downside now and how far it does go. We just wick-tailed that down to 149. No, that does, 149.20. Maybe we'll just sit there. Let's go to 149. 25. We'll put a bid there. We'll see if that fills. I mean, I'm only giving up 75 cents against what I thought maybe it would go to. So, yeah, man, so far so good there. So we'll just sit back and relax and watch this go through now and look for some other opportunities as this day goes on. But, yeah, welcome to the wild side right now of trading. That is Moderna.
The danger zone.
Yeah, I mean,
the way it's going.
Feels like that.
Like, it feels like there hasn't been anything, like, even remotely. Like, yesterday, all afternoon, it was that halting stock hour, PF something, whatever, it doesn't even matter. But the locator hasn't even been a thing. Like, you're able to sort of piggyback on whether it's, Moderna. Like, the reason I like Novavax is I just feel it's been a little bit easier to read. Like, it gives you these obvious consolidative tops. Like, it just makes the high, and then to the extent to see Moderna start to go down, it just sort of falls along. So if Moderna bounces off VWAP, which is like $9 away, it's almost halfway there. This might already be there, and then we can judge from that. So the next time I see Moderna make a right turn, I'd probably be more aggressive to jump out. But there's just a problem with like the futures. I just saw Matt Murs in the chat said every rip is being sold. I don't know if you're talking about the futures or maybe you're looking at something else, but like it feels right about that. Like every single time, like you're catching a bid in the market. And when we say the market, we could be talking about the S&P. It's the same thing. It doesn't make a difference. It's like they're just selling it off. There just has not been that much strength. I'm going to put some of the blame squarely on the chips. Like, look at Nvidia. That's a huge reversal at 22. Now it's just chilling underneath VWAP. DRAM, which my first trade of the day was long on DRAM. And because I like the long, that was my last trade on the day on DRAM. It made one bounce to VWAP. It's been failing it ever since. So obviously, this is one where the memory names are not coming back. If it's supposed to be about the Treasury and risk on, then where is it? Because it ain't here, not at all, not even a little bit. So at the end of the day, I think these are probably shorts going into the close. It's still a lot of time. If every single rip is being sold, then I got to be flipping and looking for the short in here. So as much as I like this Novavax, I'm going to try to get into DRAM on the next available pop. There's other places you could look for that kind of weakness. Intel would be an example. This is not a halt down on Intel. It's just probably a wick that hasn't cleaned up. But that goes right into, guess what? The volume-weighted average price at lunch and comes right back in. I'm telling you, these chip names are not having a good day at all. As much as we were able to recover in other places, if they don't get on board, I don't see how we're supposed to break out this afternoon. It just doesn't seem all that likely. Nvidia, somebody's got to pick up the slack, unfortunately. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be memory. It doesn't seem like it's going to be Nvidia. Apple can only ever do so much. We should always, though. Oh, not yet.
It's been.
I was about to throw because I heard they were moving. But as you guys can probably tell behind me, we have to wait to get to the window to the wall. Not yet.
Oh, yeah, going to the window of the wall. I was going to say one thing that could be saving this market a little bit is some of the retail plays. I mean, there's Target up 6% today off their report. So that's really trying to work itself out. I recorded just a small little video here on the way back from the gym. If you guys want to check it out, I'll put it in the chat, just talking about getting away from the desk and grabbing some screen time. So go check that out as well on Instagram. But if you're interested, if not, that's all good. But we are ready at the wall now. So let's go over and see what graphic Adara wants us to have a look at.
Whether we're in a bull market or a bear market, I can promise you we're going to be in a wee bull market or a BULL market, however you want to slice it, tonight after the bell. This is our TTV Research earnings preview for Webull, and this is today's segment of To the Window, to the Wall, where I pull up an infographic window and we talk about it on the wall. So last quarter, in line, EPS, sales, looks like we had a slight beat here, 90% increase year over year in customer assets. Looks like a 15% increase year over year in registered users. Funded accounts grew by a little bit, but then you've got equity notional volume. It's up 104% year over year. So some decent growth in certain metrics for Webull. I do have a Webull infographic that I'll be posting tomorrow once we get that Q2 data to show how we fared in the 6 quarters that Webull has reported as a public company. But for now, here is our earnings preview. Now you might ask, Adara, Walmart's reporting tomorrow. Why don't you have a preview for that? I do. It's on X at TTV Research. I also have a John Deere earnings preview on X at TTV Research. And I've got a preview for Alibaba. So all of that stuff's there. Just check us out on X. That's today's segment of To the Window, to the Wall. We'll see you here at this wall tomorrow for a very special infographic. But in the meantime, we'll send you back up to the guys.
All right. Thanks, Adair. Yeah, go check that out. Webull reporting tonight. $8. I mean, this is starting to go. And we talked about this earlier on where we broke through, and we've been watching this 25 period moving average there. And, we're trying to short out, got stopped out there, long out, stopped out, short. So, yeah, man, here we go again, down to 148. And, I know Joe was bleeding a little bit today on Moderna. But, this name, let's just see how far it goes down right now. I mean, that's the thing. If you're going to go long and take a $1 hit, have an $8 winner every once in a while. So there it goes now. Nice move down for Moderna. We'll just continue to watch it. But I do have, a new position here. Let's just see what happens with Google. I mean, flat on the day. I don't know. I just want to see if it's what's going on down here. All right, you have your 5-minute chart coming through, a little bit of a bounce off here on your 200 period moving average. I mean, it might not be anything. I'm going to give about 25 cents off that break. So just a starting of a quarter position right now. We'll look to get more at 50. I actually just put a bid at 60s actually. So if we come down right into here, we'll take it against that bottom, which is 44s. So we'll stop out. I put 25, but that's going to be too low. So 344. What did I say that was? 44. Yeah, we'll give it. Yeah, I mean, whatever, man. We'll give it 29 cents. We'll go to 343. Oops, that's a mistake. 343.29 will be the stop out here on Google. So we'll give this a couple seconds. Let it come back in. Hopefully we do get some 343s, 50s. If we do, that's great. If not, we have a quarter of a unit to try to run this name to the high side there. So yeah, we're just gonna sit down and watch some Google trade a little bit. If it drips down, then that's my long 343.60. Otherwise, we'll just run this quarter unit and figure out what's going on there. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on Robinhood. Now, Rothera, which I guess is a crypto or prediction exchange story backed by Robinhood, they're in talks for more or with more retail brokerages in order to route orders. So that would capture a third of Robinhood's prediction volume. So again, a prediction exchange backed by Robinhood, according to the information, is in talks with more brokerages in the retail space to route orders. That captures apparently a third of Robinhood's prediction volume. If I get more of a sense of what this means for Robinhood or more context for this, I'll keep you guys posted. But Hood headline, back to you.
Oh, come on, Robinhood. Such a strong day for crypto and you're about to lose VWAP? Yeah. Like that's how it's going to be?
Yeah.
This was the chance to break 100 on Robinhood. More importantly, potentially get back above the 50 period moving average. Right into resistance. Hey, if you're looking at Robinhood, the bears should have had, if you were bearish on Robinhood, that's such a great level to have shorted. Well, wasn't looking at that. Just going back, where's my bid? Because I am not filled on Novavax, and really I'm kind of asking why. Oh, that's why. Because I am a little tight to VWAP there. Just want to make sure we're getting, we'll get on the bid there. As we come back down into the volume weighted average price. So this is the point. If it starts to bounce, I don't want to still be in it if it does one of these crazy like hammer engulfing candles up. So I'm going to put the trail, just tighten the trailing stop up, look for the next opportunity. And someone in the chat was just like, hey, market reaction to news. Well, if you're talking about the market reaction to the Fed meeting minutes, I mean, the minutes don't typically, this is not like the Fed rate decision or when Powell's on the podium or anything. Oh, not Powell. See, I'm still saying Powell. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. When the Fed chair, Warsh, Bernanke, it doesn't matter who we're talking about, Greenspan, Yellen, all of them. No, it's not the same thing. The meeting minutes aren't typically the same type of market mover. It can move the market, but you're not really expecting the same kind of fireworks as you would on a rate decision type of day. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But let us know. Grunfeld says, look at Webull doing a golden cross on the daily. Yeah? Well, the problem, it's right before earnings, so guess what? If you like it, they better produce, because if the numbers aren't any good, and heck, if they even are good, we saw what happened with SoFi. They have a good quarter, and then they don't care. They'll dump the stock anyways. But yeah, this looks like it's breaking out on Webull. It's just, if you're taking a trade here, technically because it made a golden cross, what do you think earnings care about your technicals? Not a whole lot. The numbers are going to come out how they are, and I don't have any inside info as to how it's going to go. And I've seen way too many times in the space where even if it's good, you're just better off buying the dip after the fact. Like, have a look at SoFi. Like, this is the example I would use, is simply, instead of trying to chase a move, like, let something sell off after earnings, get into maybe a support level and then pick it up again, because like that's looked fantastic on SoFi. Instead of trying to anticipate a breakout, let it dip. If that's what they want to do, if they want to sell things on good earnings, then just wait a little bit, wait a week or whenever, when it gets to a support, buy that sucker. And SoFi at 15 has looked a heck of a lot better than trying to play this breakout. I still can't get past 19 bucks. One day, the 20 break on SoFi is going to be great. The problem with the 20 break on SoFi is I'm willing to bet there will be no intraday $20 breakout trade on SoFi. Because the day that we break this level, it's gapping over. Something in the market, earning, whatever, it's going to gap over and you're just not going to get a chance to trade it. That's just how it goes.
What's up, Roth KO here? Just saying that this market is pretty garbage. Pack your bags and come back. I think that that's probably right. I mean, a lot of people, the last couple of days of the summer, and shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Last couple of days of summer, last couple of weeks, market volume does die down. We just had an amazing earnings season. Obviously, we finished it off basically with retail. We still have Nvidia to come and Broadcom and a few other names that, should give you, reason to stick around. And I think, Trader TV Live should be reason enough. We'll help you through everything that we see here on the markets again. And just an update, I'm going to go short 153.50 against 154 if Moderna does come back out. Otherwise, 154 is my stop. If we're going to go short at 156 break right there, 150, that was 155, 155.50. So, we'll take it all out. I do have about 20% left of this trade. So, good outs. And we should have, I was hoping we were going to break there, and I was just doing something else. I mean, this is not a problem, but we're on the show, so can't look at everything. But we should have focused, and normally the 200 period, I mean, those of you that watch the show, thank you so much, and make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe. But the 200 period is generally a spot where I should be having a bid. So, my bad on that one, but it's a good thing we have a little small piece left. So I'm waiting to get some more at 153.50, so about $1 away, and then we'll give that one just 50 cents because, when the boosters get going on Moderna. And the thing is like, let's think about this. Where is it going to open up tomorrow? I think you're going to have upgrades overnight. You're going to have price weightings. You're going to have just everything, man. New analysts, maybe new coverage.
There'll be lots of new coverage.
Analysts that maybe weren't on the stock before that, now see reason to be there. So obviously there's been a lot of hatred recently through the current administration, not hatred, but they've gone back, saying that measles and some of these sort of vaccines are not as necessary, whether or not you believe in that. It has had obviously a negative effect on Moderna. I mean, Moderna was $80 back July 1st and it fell all the way to 50. So it fell 40% there, pretty easily. So this move up is great, and it's a big one. But obviously, this is not the same kind of vaccine that the administration was talking about. So this is I'm not even sure how they're going to classify this because it's a treatment, right? So, okay, we'll go back over to Adara, who's got some more news. We're still short Moderna, and we're long Google.
Uber pushing here into new highs of day. Uber, Vern, and Pony AI reportedly planning to expand autonomous ride offerings to more European cities. Here is PONY, and you guys already saw Uber. Nice look for Uber. I believe this is just a report. If I get any confirmation or more context, I'll keep you posted. Back to you.
Right, just keep going up Uber a little bit more. We get out, and then we don't have to worry about it.
Simultaneously, the stock seems like it's always up, but also never breaking $80.
Well, that's what we have to wait for. That's why I don't want to get out.
Because if it breaks, if the stock breaks 80, let's go. Ed, sweet Christmas. Sweet Christmas, Ed. Get it, Ed. 20. Hey, appreciate you.
That's
you know
a year.
What? 37 grand up in the day, you'll lead the way. But at the end of the day, I mean, I would make an educated guess. There's only two places that you could be trading. You either trading something related to crypto, or you're trading in Moderna. Would be my guess. Those are the two things that went ape parabolic.
Yeah.
Here today. But it doesn't really. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I'm guessing, but you guys.
I would think it could be Moderna. I would say. I mean, probably an options play there.
That would be the obvious guess.
You can't spell bread without Ed. Yep, that is right.
Oh, I like that.
Pokemon 22 there. Pokemon, that's a good one there. We like
Ed and the
that. Wow, 37,600. Whether or not you're at a prop and you're getting 70%, 80% of that, or it's all yours. Zeta, nice. Thank you so much for the super chat at the end of the day, man. I mean, we're here to provide some entertainment and hopefully provide you guys with some winning trade ideas. And yeah, I mean, there's Google. It's too bad. Like, it only went to 75. I got a little bit more there. We were waiting for 60s. Man, that would have been sweet. We were going to try to basically 5x our position or so down there just because we had that low. Most of the time I take in stock a little too early, even though the idea could work out, and then I get stopped out. So I didn't really want to do that. So we put on a little bit more down there to grab about a little bit more than a third of a unit at one point there. But take a little bit out as we climb into VWAP. It's not a huge move. I want this thing to get going just a little bit more. We'll see if the Nasdaq wants that as well. I think the ES still positive. Yeah, ES up 0.2 for where is SIA's over there? I don't think we're going to do it. I don't know what C is up to, but normally we have the recap of the, what do we call this thing again? Sector watch. Oh, cheese in a chair. Yeah. Is that Nucor? I own Nucor. I love Nucor. It's been a fantastic short. Oh, wow.
That'd be
don't love it that much. This is the tariff news, and I think it keeps on going in the not so long. Keeps on going to the not so long Cheech and Chong. That's Brockton 4 down. Okay, so the Cheech and Chong stuff, a little bit before. I mean, I'm old. It's a little bit before my time, but I do like Cheech and Chong, so I don't know if that's what the Brockton reference is there. But yeah, NUE.
No, it got hit. Like it was just hit. Like
yeah.
140
Okay. I was gonna say I like
so,
Nucor. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's obviously been bleeding a little bit here. No, it's a good look. They're a good company that was coming off the highs, and when they get smacked like that, the profit taking has been fast and furious on Nucor. Probably worth at least looking for some kind of like a panic bottom on that, because I think that's still a good name. Cheech and Chong, that's a good one for sure. Hey, you know what? We didn't even talk about the weed news.
I mean, of course, it's retracing off its S&P.
In 2 days, we never once said that ACB is getting bought by Curleaf, which is happening. Is a hostile takeover, apparently. Olympic Monkey. Thank you for the super chat. Reddit not trading with IGV and erasing S&P 500 gains.
Wow. Well, Reddit is. It's not a pure IGV play. I mean, I understand that it is software. Yeah. It is an app, and there is something there, but there's social media, there's news, there's the LLM attachment to it as well, right? All that controversy with Google and whatnot.
But even the second part of that, erasing the S&P 500 gains, it's not abnormal. Like, this is kind of the deal with the addition to the S&P 500. Oftentimes, it's not a secret who's going to be added next. Like, usually there's heavy favorites, and nowadays with Kalshi and Polymarket, instead of everyone just speculating and making very good educated guesses as to who's going in next, now all of a sudden you just see the betting markets, and Reddit's been the leader for 6 months, and so everyone kind of knows, and so much of it's priced in that they just sell the news after the fact. Heck, they sold the news remember the day it got added in the afternoon? If you were trying to go long, thankfully we didn't try to front run that into the close, you got destroyed, and then it came out a sell, and if you tried to go long, you got destroyed some more. And if you thought it was gonna flip to a buy and you went long at 55, you got destroyed some more. So often, it's just a pure sell the news type of play. If you still like Reddit, maybe let it settle down a bit. Anonymous, thank you for the donation. What are we sitting at here? I haven't checked all day since the morning. I know we're over 35. We've hit 3,600. I want to thank everybody for donating to Angel Hair for Kids. If you're just tuning in now,
getting close.
Obviously, I'm not donating my hair. Fabian is.
Neil already did.
Yeah, you can have
That's
the
why
little.
we did it last week. You used to have a huge set. Oh.
Well, it was. I had the fro was like this, and now we're making a bit of a change. No, Fabian's going to be cutting off 28 inches of the coif on the 28th. The goal is to get to 5, but who cares about that goal? We'll get to 10, I think. And thank you for everybody who's donated, not just the recent one from Anonymous. Juan Padilla rightfully also said Neil and Sean and Joe already did. We're just all trying to do our part. That's the thing. You don't say anything. We're just like, yeah, let's go ahead and do this first. I just shaved mine last night. Gotta get the cue ball look. I don't want to blind you guys with that shine. Maybe we should put something on the top of the head there. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, anyways. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Embrace that Jewish side. You can wear a yarmulke over there.
Gotta do something.
And then I get a nice little black one. It might look nice. Right there. Yeah. So we had mentioned SIA there, but we're gonna do the sector recap right here. I just want to have a quick little look at what's been going on because the ES is positive. for sector recap. Yes, he's working on some socials over there. Eli Lilly, J&J. So here we go, the healthcare technology and biotech space, right? I mean, this space, of course, is going to be hot fire. We've talked about that a little bit, and why we think it's going to be hot fire was, you know, the introduction today of Moderna and Merck, right? And so there's Merck up 12 and Eli Lilly and Repatrides coming through. I think peptides are going to be huge, obviously, and it just goes to show, you know, you sleep over here and there's a problem. XBI has been well talked about on this show many, many times. And, you know, that's one of the ETFs that I've really stuck with, XBI. So I do really like that one there. This is what's the dragging, right? Is like basically this whole little sector down into here, including Dell down 7% down. Ooh, that's nice. Qualcomm, another one of those ones that I was looking at. Marvell up with the deal off Google there, but it's Intel downside. It's AMD downside. Oh, we want to know what this one is? Motorola. Wow, man, those flip phones now catching a lot of fire back there. Those are hot fire, the flip phones, up to 1.3%. Of course, Motorola, not all about that anymore. Apple, Nvidia, good little look there. If you're looking at the financials, I still really like them. I don't know what's going on with Citigroup. Maybe downgraded, I have no idea. But Citigroup should be doing, in my opinion, a little bit better than that. Down 3%, Goldman Sachs down 2%, Morgan, BAC, JP Morgan there. And maybe that has to go with, I heard Joe talking about, you know, the financing that Marvell and Google did. Maybe the bank's feeling some kind of ways, not included over there. All right, consumer durables. Yeah, go Tesla. And this is by market cap. So, you know, all these Ford and GM can definitely, like, look how much Ford of a market cap is, basically, of Tesla. Up 2%, looking pretty good there for Ford. So we say shout out to Ford Nation as we go. And many people in Toronto that are out of sight of Toronto will not get the Ford Nation reference, but we like some Ford. All right, so there it goes, man. Let's go. Again, right there, sirens up as Google finally starting to go upside a little bit. We just got VWAP, looking for a little more upside there in Google. What's up, Miss A?
Sean, you mentioned the bank names. I looked into it. Looks like they're all to the downside on that Treasury Department announcement of more than doubling the size of liquidity support buyback operations for longer dated bonds. That's why C's down. That's why JPM's down. I could not find any individual catalysts on any of them. Back to you.
That makes some sense. Also, hey, VWAP here. I know there's that CDTG that's moving around. It is on the radar. I actually just paid for locates on it. I'll show you why in a second. But BMNR is just hanging right here at the volume weighted average price. On the way up, there was one dip into 19.9, right in front of $20. And then we take that second step up. So a little bit of a test here, VWAP, reversal, trend reverse. I'm going to look for the long. And then the other thing outside of, obviously, Novavax, CDTG, which, this is just a regular Chinese ADR that's running. So we're back to normal here. A 2.8 million flow, probably not even a story. I don't see a story. China. There was something yesterday. Nope, that's not yesterday. That's Tuesday, July 28th. I'm assuming there was something yesterday because it did this crazy move yesterday, but I don't see any news on it. So you just have another Chinese ADR going day 2. This is how it dumped at this price yesterday. At $8, it dumped in 1 hour all the way to 3. So suffice to say, if it fails $8 again, I want to see some kind of like there you go, topping tail, hammer down, and then look for short. At the end of the day, I don't want to chase it up here on CDTG. Not a Chinese ADR today. There's too much moving around. I feel like the money might come out of these a little bit faster than normal, just given the environment that we happen to be in. So this looks a little strong for short now. We're just going to look for BMNR. It hasn't moved off VWAP yet, so I'm not just going to sit here. But once it breaks the trend, we're going to try to join it, throw the stop under VWAP, and then move on. And one of the reasons I like this is because, hey, ETH went parabolic. And 9%. I want to see some, 9%. But look how it's holding the highs here. It's holding the highs pretty well, yet BMNR decided to pull all the way back in. So I feel like if it just breaks a little off of VWAP, it's certainly got some relative room to run. And crypto's been in play all day long. Grunfeld asking, is it time to load the Bitcoin boat? I don't know that I'd overreact that far. Going from 65 to 68 looks really good, but if I pull up the daily chart and then you remember the halving cycle, it's like how much. I mean, it's a great breakout, but load the boat under the 200 period. I just feel when Bitcoin is in an up move, you don't have to be too picky about where you're in. When you're when it's bearish, that's a different story. So I'm not there yet. Like I'd rather be 10, 20% late, 25% late and catching an upswing, because my thought has been to wait till next year, or at least like the final quarter, like end of the year, and start trying to, get back into this space, because I've sold all my ETH in next year. But it looks fantastic on the daily chart for like a short term, like a swing or something like that.
All right, so Google upside there. I just want to say Moderna just took us out. So, it went all the way back up. We were going to use 154 as our out. Got a little lazy because we were always going to use our 200 period moving average, but I still wanted to give it to 154. I thought there was a chance that maybe, it does break off of here, and it may still come back in, but I don't know about shorting this thing the rest of the day. Moderna just continues to work upside. That bounce off the 200 was something pretty nice right there. What's up, Jack? A stock that, again, do not indicate this to my wife because she thinks that we're, multimillionaires down here because of ELF, but, that's a double now. So ELF has now doubled since the beginning of June. What a move. And yeah, it does look pretty good, Jack. I mean, breaking through this $100 mark, why not? This goes all the way back to February, goes all the way back into August of last year, goes all the way there where it was a gap. This is just looking like quite a nice opportunity here for those of you trading ELF Cosmetics. This is looking like a great little long take there of $100. I just don't know if there's going to be enough sort of volume in this name to really, get me too excited about it. But yeah, ELF Cosmetics, definitely a winner in your portfolio if you've got it. Absolutely huge. And, the minute that the wife and daughter are like telling me that they've got the products, I need to just buy it. Up 8%, Canaccord Genuity with an upgrade today. ELF working out, that is for sure. It has not fallen off any kind of a shelf right now, but it's at one. So the ELF on a shelf, we could figure that if that's a break, then you got your short rate here, because $100. Let's see if it does
trying to push through
take
the
you
ceiling.
off. Snoop on a stoop as well.
Snoop on a stoop.
Yeah, Snoop.
That's where it's really at.
Yeah, that's one of the good ones there as well. You can get one. I'm gonna have to get one of those for this Christmas. We do have a couple ELF on the shelves, but
I feel like everybody.
They're pretty fun.
It's kind of one of those like everybody does it, so you got to do it kind of deal.
Yeah. We've had Marissa does the. My kids are getting older, so it's more fun now. But she'll do like little things that they're doing overnight. So.
Oh yeah,
they get themselves in trouble.
Yeah,
like you just
we
put
have
down a bunch of flour and then leave the guys lying there, and it looks like they just snorted a bunch of what. So yeah, no, my elves are
a zip line down like the hall or something.
My elves on a shelf because they like to party, boy. Unbelievable elves on a shelf, the ones I have. All right, so
they smoke rocks.
Yeah. No, they more prefer the powder, but it's just absolutely ridiculous, the elves on the shelf.
Well, that's the thing. Like the elves are classy.
Yeah, they must get unlimited supply up there. I wonder. But anyways, just trying to break. SpaceX, it's been really doing nothing all day. I saw some people in the chat ask about it. It's a nice move down of $1 right there pretty quickly there for SpaceX. So, yeah,
hey, what's going on?
I don't know. It's just kind of at VWAP. Like, I don't really want to short it. It does look like all these lines are favored. They get the 25 pushing down. Definitely something there to the downside on SpaceX. So, we could have a look. I don't know. I'm long Google. That's now 25 cents in the money. So, really liking that as a trade idea. We took a shot on Moderna, made some money, and gave it back a little bit on the move back up. But yeah, that's what we're looking for. C-Rob, recent halter, that's doing nothing. KWM, recent halter, not doing anything there either.
The one that's actually moving is CDTG.
Yeah.
All the other ones that are on the whole board are all
moving.
dead.
This RDA.
That was that SPAC.
Yeah, okay, so it's faulted a couple of times and near the lows right now. This looks like a break. Yeah, this is probably a break low whenever SPACs get under $10, right?
Yeah, they either bounce off 10 or
could be something.
I just, you know what, the funny thing is,
Google,
I never actually checked to see if it was a SPAC. We just made the assumption based on the name with that one. And
RDAC, we can ask Adara, RDAC. Okay, still, yeah, she remembers that one.
Usually there'd be a combination, but if we're going to fail VWAP on the future, or the NASDAQ, I should say, then lower high on DRAM. I just put an offer in here under 55, and we'll give it to this stop. If it doesn't get to VWAP, fine. I think shorting the pops was something I wanted to do this afternoon, so we'll try to get picked up here, sitting like in mid-90s, and then give it to that wick high, look for the bottom. You just can't seem to get healthy at all. And Eclectic Passions, a SPAC is a special purpose acquisition company. So what's one? I don't know one off the top of my head to pull up a ticker, and I don't know if RDAC is for one. But effectively, think of this. You have a company that does an IPO, but they don't have a business. Their business is to make an acquisition of something else to take it public. So they all come out for $10, and the way the deal works is this. You invest in it for $10, and it's essentially an investment vehicle. If they find a company that they want to combine with to take public, then at that point, they're like, hey, we're going to combine with, I don't know, like widget maker Maximum. And this is the combination. Now we're going to own this business. We're going to take them public. And if you like that deal, then you now own shares of that. Or you can take your $10 back. And that could take like a year. So you could sit in it for a year when you bought it at $10, and then decide you don't like the company they're combining with. You get your $10 back, but then time value money, so you lose. And oftentimes, I'm just telling it like it is. It's not my opinion, but SPACs were very popular a few years ago, and overall, they didn't work out too well most of the time. If you got involved in SPAC combinations, there were some big-time success stories out there, I'm sure, but most of them didn't work out very well. So it's like a different way for companies to come to market.
Yeah,
they offer.
DWAC was.
DWAC's an example. True Social and DWAC.
Their CCIV was Lucid. There was
Clover Health.
Nikola had one. I mean, pretty much that was the thing to do.
There's a few
back in the day. Maybe even Open Door.
They're coming back a little. Like there's been, you guys, nobody usually cares, but I promise you, I could pull up the.
There's a name right there, Skamoth. Yeah.
Like here's one right here. Like there's one. There was one on Monday. Whatever, North Strive Acquisition Corp. So they went public at $10. And they probably don't have a combination. They would have just started, so they just raised like 115 mil. So good for them. Chamath had a bunch of them. He has a new one, I think, this year as well.
Short.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Anything that Chamath
I don't remember what it's
I just
called.
want to go short. So let me know anything Chamath pumps.
It was the best performing day one SPAC that I saw this year. It was the only one that opened well above the $10. All of them usually
Of course
suck.
it did. Right there. This guy just suckers in all these retail, and then it's like dump city on that one. But okay, so that's RDAC. So a good little cover on that. We'll have a look. Clover has been actually really nice. Clover's a name that I was in on near not on the SPAC, but near some of those lows. I mean, I bought Oscar Health. I bought a little bit of Clover as well. The problem with this one, I think I sold this at 230, something like that. Oh, it must have been in this area here on the way. Oh, it wasn't. I mean, when was this? April? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so, I think we got involved in this one maybe around here, 220, 230, something like that. That would make sense where we got in. And then once it broke up into here, 280s or so out. But we didn't, it was a very, very small play. We didn't do much on Clover. But, another one of those names. A name that I'm in for at least a little bit of cash is Oscar. And you guys have heard me talk about that one. I have too many holdings, but Oscar has been a nice move as well, Oscar Health. And just, when UNH was doing its thing, this was one of those new names. It's like that ZETA. It was like one of the new names that was out there that people were talking about. I'm not into Zeta, but this has been Zeta. This has been a great move. Like, you guys have nailed this one. I saw social media all over this name, and it's been great. So Zeta, just absolutely monster there. These guys are doing online advertising, I believe. And that's whatever models they have, obviously based off AI, I would assume, has really worked out well for them. So Zeta, a good one. And I think it's running into a little bit of problem. Let me see. No, this might be, yeah, so I guess 25 was maybe the level that I was thinking about earlier when I was talking about running in. Oh, no, here it is. Yeah, so we had zoomed back out. I thought maybe 25 has been the top. Those were good break levels, but then this is kind of the stuff that we're talking about now, between 30 to 35 right now for Zeta. So, have a look there. It's had a nice run for sure. And as many stocks go up, there is possibilities for stocks to actually go down at some point, so don't forget about that.
Not allowed.
So watch out for Zeta. Possibly. Watch out for Google. It's actually come right back. I still want to wait for 60s. I feel like the market's fine. The market's bouncing off VWAP right now. That's cool. Our best out was moments ago at 32s, and then here's the drop down in. I'm still going to try to be a little bit stubborn and wait for those 60s to come in for Google right now. So it looks like it is doing that move right now, coming back in. I'll cancel a little bit of, okay, there it is. I'll cancel a little bit and just buy some 63s right there. So we push forward, get 63 and change. We'll take a little bit more here at 60, and there it is. Now we'll just maybe, okay, well, Bye-bye Google. It looks like we'll get stopped out of this one pretty quickly right now. A breakdown below some of these levels, and we want to get out. Google just got, again, like, why is it doing that? The market's not really doing anything right now, and Google's taking a dump. So, yeah, I mean, we'll stop out of it. I have exactly 1 unit right now.
Oh, shoot, I turned my
Not the end of the world on it, but looks like it is going to the downside here. I have a break of 29s as being my out. So that would give me about, that's a 30 cents. So about 35, what am I doing? That's 70s or a break. What did I say? A break of 30. So 40 cents. So we need to try to see if this can get back to O's before this makes any real sense. So let's just sit on it for a little bit, Google, and see what winds up happening there. Decent bid at 60s, but we almost got flushed out of that trade. That touched down to 32s. We were pretty close, or 35s. We were pretty close to getting knocked out of that one as it goes right back, of course, into the money. I say of course just because like it's more like a funny thing. Like we almost get stopped out, then it just bumps right back up. Like that's how wild these markets are. Like 10 more cents and I'm stopped out, and then this move happens. So yeah, count our blessings. On that note, I'm going to get a 10% at 79. All right, just so we can reload it if it does come back down in. That's Google, and that's what I'm working with now. Neil's got the short DRAM.
We just got into DRAM, which is trying to make its way back up. But I did pop out of Novavax at the break even. Originally the stop was at the prior bar wick, but it bounced off VWAP, so we left some on for the breakdown. A little bit different. Like the first time through, I actually left more than half on for the break underneath the volume weighted average price. This time, because it was a breakout play, it's like play back into VWAP and then just take it into there. I don't know if I'll have, the only way I short this again is if this is such a distinct lower, like if I get wicked out and something like this ends up being true, like these wicks end up being the same high, then maybe I jump back in with a really tight stop to try to play it. And then I don't know if someone was asking about maybe you could have been asking about the stop in either one, but I just showed you one, so it doesn't matter. But we go right up to that prior bar wick on DRAM, and then it's starting to pull back in. The other, like the context too, is like this is the NASDAQ. Look at VWAP on the NASDAQ. I guess I should zoom in there. Look at VWAP on the NASDAQ. We just keep getting there, wicks, and then pulling back. So I still feel like, overall, if something is underneath the volume weighted average price, then I think it's, and it should be, loosely following the market, then I think it's a bit of a short. So I'm going to stick with that until we find some other things. There was that CDTG that's on the radar, but unfortunately, I did not go short. It is now halted down. So if you're trading this, just for anybody can zoom out and see that yesterday it rejected $8 and fell $5 to $3. I'm not saying it's going to fall to 3, but it's already halted down with a flat tap, 642. If it bounces off VWAP, great. But if this loses VWAP, this is probably worth a look to short it for the rest of the day. And they were super cheap on CDTG. Oh, and just one thing about Moderna, we said this in the morning, but it's worth mentioning. Sometimes when like the most parabolic stock out there is free for locates, it can help the move because day traders can short it for free. And if day traders can short it for free, I promise you this, there are more of them trying to short it. And when that happens, short covering leads to more of a rally. It just seems like a correlation. I know Luis has said it's true. We didn't get a chance to hear his opinion on that one because he didn't show up today. It would have been a really good day because I would have been curious to ask. He trades gappers and runners. Moderna is obviously not some small cap gapper, legitimate news, but a lot of its characteristics were similar. Mm-hmm. So I would have been curious to see whether, like, do some of the things that you look for on other ones apply to Moderna? We'll be able to ask him that next week, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to look at Moderna, but just real quickly here. This is now up, so you guys can go get it on Instagram. I'll post it right there. Go check the reel out. If you don't have X, you may have Y, and that would be Instagram. So go check it out right there. Here's me and my daughter. Poor girl broke her. You can't see the thumb there, but she fractured her thumb. So we've got it's so hilarious because one of the notes from one of the dads they're having their training camp next week for hockey at U of T. So they're going to be on the ice at U of T. There's a couple girls that have made scholarships and whatnot that are now at U of T. The captain of the U of T hockey team is one of the assistants on Gia's team. And listen to this. This is one of the coaches that's going to be there next week. Hey guys, Friday looks like, this is how you know it's hockey. Friday is looking like it's going to be a parking lot tailgate day with only 3 hours in between games. So this is for our tournament this Friday. I was thinking of bringing my Blackstone and making pea-meal, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwiches for anyone who's interested. Please DM me with the number of sandwiches that you want. So because Gia's hurt, I'm going to be here Friday. And will not be tailgating with the rest of the dads.
I didn't even realize that.
And the parents.
Boo.
They're crushing these pea-meal, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwiches. So sounds like a lot of fun. And obviously, I'm just giving some content for the show. We'll be here.
Watch us have the breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, that'd be good.
On Friday, because our caterer does. They're not going to be as good as them.
Yeah.
But they've done the pea-meal bacon before.
They do good.
They've done it. You never know. We might get lucky. We might get very lucky.
So then I just responded. I said, I knew I liked you to the coach. So he's good. He also wants to get team-colored Air Force Ones for when they do their driving. Very smart. Yeah. All right. KY is out of the office. Yeah, me too soon. What's up, Tiffany? How's everything going?
Yeah, that's a perfectly normal name.
Thanks for asking, Tiffany.
There's nothing to read into with that one.
Yeah, right now, thank you for your donation. So yeah, another $69.
Appreciate it. No
ditty. Thank you for all of that one. As we go live right now
there it
on
is.
Instagram, we're all over the place. Check it out. We are Trader TV Live, having a lot of fun here again today on a Wednesday, trading some Moderna, trading some Google, and watching out for our social media over there. So thanks, Tiffany, for doing everything. And I just heard Adara's locked and loaded, but just real quick, we did buy a little bit more. Google going back up to the upside, so we're going to take a little bit more out of this one. It's only 25 cents, but it's a winner. A winner's a winner, and we like those on Trader TV Live. Adara, what you got for us?
Guys, keep an eye on crypto. The Trump stream is just been opened here for this meeting with tech executives, except here's the thing. It's not tech leadership. It's crypto leadership. I spy of Vlad Tenev. I spy Brian Armstrong. I spy Winklevoss, the Winklevoss twins. So just be aware, guys. I think this is going to be that crypto summit we thought was going to happen today. If I get any other details, I'll keep you posted. I'll be listening to this entire thing. But yeah, off the top of my head, recognize 4, if you include, the Winklevoss separate people, 4 crypto execs here. And as we see and hear more, I will certainly let you all know. Back to you.
Well, we'll let you know when crypto actually starts moving based on that. Like I was looking at BMR off VWAP, and what is it doing? It's falling right back to sleep. Obviously, you're going to want to watch whether it's ETH, whether it's Bitcoin, IBIT. I guess it's what you look at for the ETF. BMNR, MSTR, they've all got to be in play. Coinbase could be something here. I haven't really looked at that one today. Look, I mean, they're all the same. Parabolic move up. They're retracing and pulling back here on coin. The strongest feels like it's ETH. ETH is holding the gain so much better than everything else, which is also a reason to look a little bit at that. To look a little bit at BMNR. Circle. I mean, this one, yeah, it's the same thing. Not as strong. 9 points. That's fine. It's not bad whatsoever. But I don't know. It doesn't look too crazy for crypto. Obviously, anytime the president is speaking, it's a big deal. He could say anything. But on topic, we're expecting it to be a crypto.
That's not true. Judkins just tore his ACL. Is that true?
No. Who's the backup?
Isn't that Sampson? Isn't Judkins is the guy?
Simpson or Samson?
Yeah. Samp.
Samson?
Sampson. We're talking about
Who has
Cleveland, right? Same Jeff, it's fine.
Oh, he's got his own handcuff?
Yeah, but he's not really a true handcuff because I think he's just a receiving
they had
back.
Somebody else.
There was that Higgins guy tore his ACL today, I think, as well.
Yeah, on the Texans.
And then I just saw Judkins, but that's from our friend Pash. So
Hutchinson's the wide receiver 3 there. We have our fantasy draft on Saturday. It's a dynasty league. So.
Google with a nice move higher right here. Let's get a little bit more out, man. There it is. So there we go, man. Money. Printing now for Google. We bought those dips, ladies and gentlemen, and there it goes right back up to view up. And there goes Google. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on IONS, this name pushing higher. They do, I guess, RNA-related interventions. So Elon Musk posted 22 minutes ago that, quote, synthetic RNA will cure many diseases. This is being circulated now on social media. Nice move up for IONS. MRNA is not moving on this, but I mean, it's already up more than 100% on the day. What more can you really ask for? Back to you.
RNA, never heard of it.
Never heard of that
over there. I've traded hundreds of shares of Moderna.
There goes CDT. It's going to die.
And there it goes. But anyways, Google right now, 70 cents now in the money. So yeah, let's go. That's enough 50. All right, nice move now, breaking higher. We almost got that 50 bid down there to reload it, but it just didn't come in. So it went to 60 again, which is where we're long. But Didn't want to put it all in. That's 80 cents now in the money. Remember where our stop was? 30 cents. So about a 2 to 1 or 40 cents. So exactly 2 to 1 right now for Google. So we like it. We like it a lot as we go long right now on Google. And we talked about sort of why I like that stock. It was kind of going opposite of the market there. Long over here, short on DRAM. And, what are you guys doing in the chat, right? That should be a little fun to see what's going on there.
Well, CDTG, well, I'll get it right eventually with this stock, but it's annoying me, that ticker name. It just opened up after the halt under VWAP. It hasn't closed the candle underneath, so this will probably be 2 attempts, not 1. If it breaks out, literally the high is 6/4. If it breaks 6/4, I'm out, and I'll wait for like a close underneath VWAP. I'm just looking at what happened yesterday on this thing.
Do you want me to do anything?
Yesterday, this thing absolutely died. And if it goes into another down halt, then I'm going to take my exit right in front. Where's the halt band? Right there at 530. So I'll take the out. Why? Because it's going to try to false halt. So it hasn't closed underneath VWAP, but the second it lost VWAP, quick in, quick out, grab the 50 cents. Now, if it...
Yeah,
See, I don't understand these halt bands. You know what? I just realized something. I'm sitting there like getting out because I think it's going to hit the halt band. But yesterday, it made the same move and didn't halt once all the way down. You know what? The market's crooked.
Yeah.
The market is crooked, and we saw this with Moderna this morning. Like, Moderna made a move. We saw the halt bands to the upside, and like 10 minutes before, it had a bigger move in the same amount of time, and the halt bands were nowhere to be seen. So it makes no sense. This stock probably it should have been halting yesterday. But anyways, I didn't want to get trapped because if it halts, you can gap up, and then your risk reward is gone. But we'll take another shot at it. If it closes under VWAP, shows a little something else. But CDTG, whatever this is, oh, remember, it's a Chinese ADR, and we know what they do. They go up a little bit, and then they go right back into the
gates of hell.
And it's nothing personal against Chinese ADRs. It's just the pattern. Everything is about patterns. And this is not Moderna. There was no news on this that I saw today. I didn't even see a news story yesterday for what this thing is doing. What's Moderna doing?
No, I mean, it's just what you were just talking about there. It's just bouncing off some of those levels.
Yeah.
Coming back in. We do have Hala at $1 right there. As there it goes, man. Google just really blasting through some of those levels, man. So, like, again, we gave it to you. We gave you the stop. We gave you the in. Traders got to trade. There's Google. We love it. We love going over to Sia, and she's locked and loaded over there with some happening now.
Let's take a look at the markets before we dive into what's happening now. The SPY is currently up 0.29%. The triple Qs are down 0.12%, and the Dow is up 0.20%. Let's take a look at just one thing that I want to talk to you about, and then I will send you over to the guys. So GLD, gold miners, surging after the announcement by the Treasury Department to sharply increase the government debt repurchases, which did send yields lower, but gold's benefiting. It is higher. It's given gold a boost. The Van Eck Gold Miners ETF, that is I'm just going to check GDX here. GDX, that is jumping now over 7%, on track for its best day since November 4, 2022, when it had jumped over 10%. It's currently above almost 7.5%. That is close to 8%. I just also want to check GLD and what it's doing at the moment. Also up 3.5% on the day.
Thank you, as always, Sia. Ooh, the market's continuing that little bit of a turn, so just an update. We'll get back to some of the other things that are moving. It's pretty consolidated on DRAM, but if we get back upside, we're just going to scalp the inside of the range here. So we'll call it 55, tens to teens, down to the 8s, and then every time it bounces off the 8th, we'll try to scalp inside of the range, because support here, obviously, you can see support there before, and then we'll look at the double bottom low of the day on DRAM. The mistake with DRAM today is obvious. I don't think I have to tell anybody. Should have been short this thing. I came in thinking long breakout, and sometimes you get anchored to your initial thought. I was like, oh, break of this high, that's my play on DRAM today. So when it didn't break the high, I was still in long mode, and it should have been, it didn't break the high, short the stupid thing, Neil, and shorted at VWAP all day long would have been a deal. But that's the thing. Anchoring is something that is difficult for anybody to get away from. That's why some fantasy managers will do it. They'll try to get you to make the first offer so that you can be anchored to your price. You can tell I'm excited about our draft.
Yeah, it should be a good one there. Do you have any spicy wings you're supposed to eat? I don't.
Oh, I'm doing 5 Armageddon wings.
I want to do them just for fun. I think I'm gonna come in there and.
I've had the Armageddon wings like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I've had them before.
Like, so there's a dude as you challenged a bunch
Adara,
of people.
you do not.
No, Adara? No, Adara.
We will need to call an ambulance.
No, Adara.
No, of course not. But I'm just saying those are. So there's something there. I don't know if we're getting them from Duff's. That's where the original place was.
Yeah.
They've closed a couple locations, but I think there's still one open. We have football bets where, like my team will beat yours or this guy will beat that guy or whatever the situation is. And some, very not smart people in our pool will sometimes make these bets and then it'll be like, oh, I'll bet you like 5 Armageddon wings. And the Scoville unit, we could actually look it up.
It's 6.
I think it's in the millions, right? Armageddon.
Duff's might only be in the million.
No.
The Packy chip is like 2.5, I think.
Wings,
but I feel like I thought Duff's was 650.
Because there's I'm going to find it right
I thought it was 650.
there.
But the Packy chip is in the
more,
millions
more.
for sure. I thought the Packy chip was 2.5 million, which we idiotically did live on the show. That was one of the
I just got.
We love the show, but hands down, the dumbest thing that ever happened on this show was agreeing to do the 1 chip challenge live.
Of Scoville, right?
There's no need for that ever, everybody.
Okay.
Oh, BTCP halted up.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so they have it.
Oh, it is halted up.
Yeah, you're right. It's 800 here. Let me see if I
Is it 800? I thought it was 650.
No, it's 8. Well, this just shows this. I don't know if this is true or not right here, but this is what it's showing here. Oh, can you guys see that? Yeah. So there it is. The Armageddon is 850.
Okay.
Scoville unit. This is according to.
Under a million, man.
Yeah, whatever this is. Shut the FU cup pancakes? What the heck is this? Dr. PP? This is just a crazy website here. But anyways, this is what we're doing. So some of our friends, I just searched for Duff's.
How did you?
But some of our friends there are going to be doing that. And one person I think has to do 8 of them.
So what? Well, that one dude called out everybody that was in the playoffs last year and he just starts making the challenges. So we're all like, yeah, whatever. Like,
oh, did he?
No, because 2 of us.
I made the playoffs.
Amar and myself. No. I think it was everyone that's had Dust before.
Oh, okay.
Because I've done it before.
I'm definitely doing. I'm going to do 2.
I actually like the wings. If you
no,
do
you
their,
don't.
No, not the Armageddon.
Oh, okay.
The Death Wings are like that's about as hot as I would like enjoying it because it's like 400,000. Everything after that's like, it's a bit much.
400,000.
I wouldn't order them myself.
So Adara, is Frank's Red Hot pretty spicy for you or?
No.
I can have Frank's now. It's a really big development. I can have Frank's. I wasn't supposed to eat it. Apparently I was supposed, but I ate it and I was actually completely fine. Like a spicy piece of lime that was pickled, totally lived. That was just this weekend. I now order spicy wings rather than mild. Well, spicy's like the lowest.
Wow, welcome to
And it takes
Toronto.
me forever to eat them. Like I can't do it in one sitting, but I can do it. So yeah, the spice tolerance has grown.
There we go.
And I mean, no, it's not comfortable. Nor do I think that we're at a point physically, because I still have a physical reaction, that I can expand it much more than this. But right now, I'm happy as a clam.
What do you think your friends back home would think, like if you told them that you're now eating spicy food? Like, because I imagine...
I had a lot weirder habits when I
okay.
was a kid. Like I had a thing where I could not eat if a baby was in my presence. I've gotten over that too. So I think that...
What was that last one?
Sorry, say that again?
Yeah, so if a baby was in my presence, I just couldn't eat. It was a really big problem at like family events. My friend has a kid now and she always makes fun of me because I can do it now. President Trump also just showed up at this crypto event, so I guess Vlad can stop moving his hair like this.
All right, well.
Which is what he was doing.
But that doesn't happen to you anymore, so we can't just...
So you can't bring any babies around when Adara's eating. Now you can.
Now you can.
Now you can. We've dealt with that.
I've never heard that. Oh, goodness. So,
of course you never heard of that.
BTCT just reopened and just broke $1 here. So there is a mover. BTC, obviously... Look, BTC Digital making a big move upside. Obviously, anyone can see it was, wow, what a VWAP hold. It's probably going to hold up here because 115 is the halt band, so it looks like it's going to halt again. That's a bit of a chase. You want the first halt, not the second halt, in my opinion. But, man, look at it go off VWAP. That was nasty. What else is happening?
I want one more weird quirk about Adara before the show ends. Because this whole no eating in front of babies is kind of funny.
But I've never heard of that before. That's interesting.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I just want to know if there's anything else there.
There's someone out there, maybe.
I'm trying to think about what.
Not power walk.
Let me think about
race walking.
Race walking.
Race walking is You know how disciplined you have to be
It's
race
not called
walker?
race walking, is it? What's it called?
It is. It's race walking.
Oh, it is called race
Because
walking.
you can't have both feet have to be constantly in contact with the ground. Try walking. I can't walk that way.
Yeah,
It's
you need to have your.
And you're trying to go fast.
I guess
And
you
they
can.
stand, when you do competitively, they stand at the edge of like the court, not the court, the track, I'm tired, and they look at your feet. And
Yeah,
you're
of
like,
course.
please, don't lift your feet, don't lift your feet. Yeah, it's really intense.
I would get disqualified instantly because I just don't have the discipline. I'd be like, I need to go faster. Like, no, this is not working. And then I just start runing.
Yeah,
because you're trying to, if someone passes you, you're race walking. If someone's passing me, I'm like, I need to speed up.
Shout out to Mr. Duckett's there. I think you're right. It's like those two things are combined. Baby eating, race walking away fast. You don't want to run in the restaurant. You want to race walk away from those eating babies. But you never know. I was trying to think of something like that was a little quirky when I was growing up or something that I used to do. I don't know. I'd have to ask. I could ask my wife if I told her some stories, or ask my mother. She's on chat right here and see what's going on over there. But that's fun. Thanks, Adara, for sharing
a good one.
that. Okay. So, oh man, now I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, a little quirky thing that sometimes when I sneeze, I'll do like 10 sneezes in a row. Like you can't even stop. Thankfully on the show, it seems better. But
do you
when I'm
remember
at
the
home,
trader?
it's like I cannot stop myself from sneezing sometimes.
There was a trader on the floor. Remember, he always sneezed in threes. We had a guy on the floor a
sneezed
few
in
years back.
threes?
He always sneezed exactly 3 times, precisely. It was on point. And it would freak you out too because you'd hear it, you're like, you know what's coming. And then boom, 2.
That's called diarrhea walk?
three.
No, I don't think so.
Let's go back up to Adair because Trump is still talking.
Yeah, I'm just making this face because there's a massive conflict of interest that just happened at this meeting that was not addressed, but I'll address it in a second. Coinbase in focus here. We just have Trump announcing all these CEOs. One of these CEOs is Brian Armstrong, who he said, oh, you look good. You look quite a bit younger. Awesome CEO. So he said nice things about Brian Armstrong. Watch Coinbase. But the face I made had to do with ICE. He just announced the CEO of Intercontinental Exchange, Jeff Sprecher. Now, I made that face because what Trump didn't mention, which is true, is that Jeff Sprecher is married to a member of Trump's cabinet, specifically Kelly Loeffler, small business administrator. So yeah, lots of different people here. I'm not quite sure how ICE fits in with the overall crypto strategy, but I guess we'll find out. Again, the Winklevi are here. Vlad Tenev of Robinhood is also here. So keep an eye on all of these stocks and more. As I get more details, I'll keep you posted. I'm listening to this whole thing. I guess it's like the first of what they're saying will be several CFTC meetings.
Double check the calendar because we do have ICE coming to take us out middle of September.
Yeah, in like a month.
I just got to make sure what ICE it is. I don't need to be.
We know.
But here in the States, here in Canada,
Yeah,
we
we're good.
don't have to worry about that. Okay, was that a throw again? See ya this
but
time.
just quickly
Okay.
before we go, BTCT is a tap of $1.20. It's worth remembering, like this stock, like a lot of other Bitcoin plays, like they went into AI compute. So as to why this one's particularly is squeezing right now, they were supposed to be transitioning to AI compute like a bunch of others, but for whatever reason, they're the one that's running. $1.20 tap. It'll probably open up while we're talking to Sia.
Yeah.
The SPY currently up 0.28%. Let's take a look at the sectors and what is going on here. You have electric tech, Nvidia flat, and Apple is still up 1.8%, which is equivalent to almost 2%. Broadcom is now still down 4% with AMD, INTC continuing. Now, MU not flat anymore. It's slid towards the downside by 8%, and Cisco is flat. Marvell holding on to that steady gains from earlier in the day. It was up 7% when I reported on it during the news segment. Now it's up 8%. Not a bad look. Dell, however, is down 7.5%. Tech services, you have Google that is still flat, but Microsoft and Meta, Netflix, Palantir, Oracle, IBM in the green, followed by Accenture and CRM, all in the green. CRWD is down almost 6% on the day, and PA&W also down 4% on the day. Finance, you have BRKB and MasterCard that are flat on the day, but JPM, BAC, and Citi, which has continued to extend its losses, is down 3.5%. Robinhood currently up over 4.5%. And another name that I did check earlier in the day, Coin. It has reversed a bit of its gains, but it's still holding steady momentum. It's up almost 9.5% on the day. Retail trade, we have Amazon that's up close to 2%. TJX still continuing to slide towards the downside. We have Costco and Walmart that are flat. Home Depot that's up close to 2%. CVS down 1%, and Carvana is up over 8.5%. But I did read it would be its 10th losing streak in the week if it closed at a certain point. So Carvana, CVNA, it is up 8.5%, but CNBC was reporting the same, what I just mentioned. TGT right now up over 5%. CPRT is up almost 7% on the day as well. Producer manufacturing, we have LRCX, AMAT, and CAT, GEV as well, all in the red. The sector is a bit of a mixed sentiment, followed by energy minerals for today. XOM, which was in the green earlier in the day, has now turned flat. So you have XOM, CVX, both flat on the day. Consumer durables, you're seeing a little bit of strength in PM, PEP, KO, and PG, as well as the rest of the sector, except names like CL, CHD, and RL that are flat on the day. Consumer durables, Tesla is up almost 3.5% on the day. Health tech is one of the bulls for today on the sector board. Lilly is up close to 5%, as we do know it. MRK is up over 13%, and Moderna having a great day today, up over 148%. Process industries, you have Lin that is up 0.80%, and SHW up 2.5%. And finally, in transportation is up over 4.5%. Dash up 2.7%, and DAL still down 2.5%.
All right, a lot of percentages going on over there.
Yeah. The problem with diversification is I look at my biggest non-tech holdings, and it's like Eli Lilly and AbbVie are up nicely, but GE Vernova and Caterpillar are down. Okay. So it's a complete. It's almost exactly a wash. It's like nothing is even happening. But that's the thing. Every now and then, diversification will look like that. But a lot of other things are moving for sure. So that BTCT, if I say it wrong, you know what I'm talking about. It did open up, make a new high at $1.32. It's right back underneath. It is worth mentioning absolutely nothing else in crypto is moving right now. Like, that's IBIT. I've shown you guys ETH is doing nothing. BMNR, and these are all, like, they were all crazy. These charts are insanity. Like, BMNR is barely moving off of VWAP. We could look at, and again, just to show you, I don't know what's going on. Like, Coinbase is kind of moving to the upside. Like, nothing is really happening in these names. So it does make you wonder about this BTCT, whether it's going to, how much staying power is it going to have?
These are these peelers things?
Oh, these are awesome.
Yeah, my kids are all about these.
I love these, bro.
Chester. Oh, Chester's such a nice guy. He bought all that Hawaiian pizza for everybody. Thanks. These peelers are good, man. These peelers are good.
They did Chester wrong with that.
Of course they did. Right now we're $1 in the money here on Google. Just try to get some more out. Right there. So, missed it. Missed 75s. Okay. We're there. Nice move there. SpaceX tried to acquire AI startup Cognition. Tried to?
Yeah, it was a past tense story, which is why I didn't mention it. If I hear anything else on it, but all I heard was that headline, and again, not an acquisition that they're currently doing anymore. I didn't see a stock reaction either.
I mean, sometimes if you're not doing an acquisition, you might get a bump, but obviously they don't think that here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is what it is at this point. I mean, if they acquire somebody, they acquire somebody, obviously. So yeah, shout out to SpaceX if they're gonna do anything. Hopefully they get the deal done. Well, whatever company you want to see if they can acquire somebody. SpaceX, probably Elon, man, just offer them like a few 100 million shares. I mean, and maybe they'll accept whatever the buyout is. But yeah, so just watching out for this trade. Again, this is now $1. We talked about it was 30 cents, so 3-1 right there. And we still have a third on. So that's pretty good. The fact that we're holding this much throughout the rest of the day. Alibaba, I really like Alibaba. Like, I don't want to get that twisted there for anybody. Like, I think Alibaba does have a huge opportunity here, especially if China-U.S. tensions sort of ease back a little bit. We do know that Kimi just has been a pretty successful large language model, and I could see some companies, if allowed to, using some of this technology rather than some of the best stuff that's being built here stateside or countryside here in the United States. I feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunities with Alibaba and the Chinese as well. There's more to talk about, but Adara's got President Trump in her ear, so.
Yeah, there's some hyper liquid strategies is trading higher PURR. So I looked into hyper liquid. I guess it provides underlying liquidity and execution and infrastructure for finance. It's not available in the U.S. or Canada. But President Trump just said, quote, he's looking to bring hyper liquid into the U.S. So nice look here for PURR continuing to make new intraday highs. Back to you.
I feel like can they all rally? Like, at some point, I feel like there's going to be a bit of a pullback. And just for this BTCT, we didn't do this, which usually is something we'll do with any small capper that's gapping, running, halting. You got to look at the daily chart. The 200 period to the extent that it's been respected, that's why it matters here.
Look at that
but
run.
$1.50, but this is a crazy run. It's now gone up 170%. It's the only thing moving right now in the space, or at least the only one that hit my radar. So $1.50 looks like a turnaround spot. If it doesn't fail here, or pull back here, I shouldn't say fail, I should say pull back, just because it makes the top and maybe falls to VWAP wouldn't mean it failed. Oh, thank you so much for another donation, Rakesh Kumar, and that's a donation to our charity. Well, not our charity, to Angel Hair. It's not our charity, but it's Angel Hair for kids. For anyone that doesn't know, we'll let you know again. Fabian's cutting the coif, 28 inches, donating it to charity. It's all happening. Well, the cutting of the hair is going to happen live. The donation probably not. That'll be done after the fact. But
it's GoFundMe.
Our goal is 5,000. We're already at 3,700, and thank you everybody for contributing. And if you want to pay it forward, just remember you can click the link. It's in the chat. It's in the description. The QR code is right up there that you can just jump right to the site. So if you're in a giving mood, then it's a fantastic one. And again, if you donate there, everything goes directly to. We got a bunch of. We're really appreciative of all the super chats in the afternoon. But just remember, with the super chats, obviously Google's gonna take their piece. If you donate directly here, you know it's going right. All of it, 100% is going to the charity. So that's the bigger deal. So here's this BTCT. It looks like it might reject at that 200 SMA on the daily. It has yet to truly close losing one of these bars, but that could be a nice turnaround spot. I don't think it's the same thing as CDTG, because that was falling apart under VWAP. That's at $4 now, by the way. But if it can close underneath $1.20, that would be a sign of weakness there. I'm not feeling a reload in DRAM another time. Just like it's the right lower high level, but no follow through. Goes to first risk support and starts catching a bit of a bid. So if it breaks out now, I'll just jump out of it. Now, DRAM's one of those, like I said, not really happy with looking at this as a long instead of a short, but that's just how the day goes sometimes. And if it holds here, then my bid's down to 54.6, and we'll wait for it at this point. And Tilly, how many derivatives of BTC can we create?
And that's
never, ever question the ability of the sell side to come up with different things they can sell in the market.
Like, is Chamath still alive?
That is the one guarantee, is they're always thinking of some other way. And whether it's the double, triple leverage ETFs out the wazoo, now they want to create compute as an asset class that you can invest in. That's the new one, and that's courtesy of Jensen and the bankers as well. They're always, literally, that's what they do. They come up with ways to make a little bit of money and get some capital flow. That's what the sell side does. So it'll never stop. And if it stops, we got bigger fish to fry. Like when they stop doing that, it probably means something really bad overall has happened, and we're thinking about other things.
What a nice move back here for BBAI. In the chat, Love to Trade was asking me about BBAI, and I was like, you know what, like in a rising interest rate environment like we currently have, right? I mean, we know interest rates are going higher; they're not going lower. You need to have stocks that have some sort of free cash flow and/or earnings, and BBAI has neither of those. You know, they don't need to borrow money. That's not necessarily a problem for them, I don't think. They don't have any planned raises or anything, so they're going to be fine for their cash flow situation. But we'd like to see that earnings per share get a little higher I think they're still minus 4 cents. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem for Big Bear AI. It is such a small part of the story. Like I don't even think it's 0.01 of my holdings. And it's just in the TFSA. And we've already made our money on Big Bear AI. So look, I wish it would help, and I wish it would happen for everybody here. But I like the stock. I do think that there's a lot of potential in this name, but just hasn't really gone. And I guess you always hate to say it, but I guess you just got to wait for the next earnings season, and hopefully it gets that bump up, right? This still does have a 30% short float or so. So on good earnings, Big Bear AI will be back. But for right now, I mean, they have government contracts and all that kind of stuff. So you got to just sort of ease back and wait for that kind of a play. I mean, I'm basically not in it, but I still do hold what I hold. And I have never bought anything else in this name. I haven't bought anything since we even talked about this in January when it was up here, when we made those plays. So I would say, just looking at it though, like this 250 is held. So if you're going to wait for something, maybe that's a level that you're happy with, and you might be wanting to average in on that. But then there's also the flat bottom break. If it does break through that, that's also a problem. So I would say if you're in it, you can nibble a little bit more down there. Stocks aren't going anywhere. They're not going to go bankrupt or anything like that. But at the end of the day, everybody trade your own book, but BBAI and just not. It's like when I bought Bitcoin at 66,000. I think I'm the last person to buy anything I've heard. So that had to go against me to 61 or 62. So the fact that it's up to 68 now, it's like I'm not, getting out of it. We're trying to hold this for long term. And even somebody, and I put in the chat, like, when's time to load the boat on crypto? I don't think anybody around here, maybe I've been saying
all year.
No one's actually going to load the boat on crypto.
Don't load the boat. No. But I've been saying all year, I've been trying to wait till the end of the year or next year or 50,000. Like, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the year, so I'm trying to hold true to it. We were talking about not logging into our Coinbase
What's the most
accounts.
You would ever hold on Bitcoin? Like, let's just say
I do not want to have more. I've had more than 5% of my portfolio be in crypto. Right. And when it was at the high, it was like 7.5, and I dumped all of my ETH.
Moderna.
Effectively. I probably dumped 95% of my ETH because I probably lock into Coinbase, and I know I'll still have a little bit. But then everything in my Coinbase went into stable, and I've just sort of been waiting around for a time that it looks better, and I'm not feeling it. Should have been feeling the short on BTCT. That's now halted down, and it's going to lose. If it opens where it says it's going to, it's going to lose the dollar. So it lost 120. That was that 200 period on the daily. It's in a down. Volatility halt, obviously. The tap is 91 cents, so that's somewhere in here. Still above VWAP. Something there. If you happen to like it, but that one does not look very good. So just be careful. It seems like all of these want to head to the downside. Like, I even saw the president's talking with that group. Oh, BMNR, this might go. It was underneath VWAP and looking like it was going to fall, but now it's starting to come back. And that other one, CDTG, that didn't really offer an obvious re-entry point that I liked. So yeah, that dumped a little, and it never halted. That's the dirty thing. I got out at the halt band. It drops another $1.02. And has not halted once on the way down. Like, it was even a bigger candle that it still didn't halt on. But as I said before, I'm not going to reload DRAM. Like, I feel like I've gotten away with it on DRAM, where I've been able to be in a kind of like cheeky spot and not lose. Like, it's the one stock that I can say that I'm not necessarily happy. Like, every stock has worked today, but it's probably the one that I'm the least happy with the performance, because I've missed the best opportunities. Short there. Short instead of long, obviously. I mean, that goes without saying. You couldn't short at the top, all that kind of stuff. But on my radar is going to be this BTCT, because I don't think if it's going to fall apart, I'm not sure it's done just yet. It just halted. It opened and halted up. I'd like to see it underneath the dollar. It couldn't hold under $1, so it might not be a trade just yet. Oh, and one more thing. It's 320. There's a couple of big ones on the early look imbalances. FXI is already 1.6 million to the buy side. SOXL is already 1.2 million to the buy side. If you're GPUS is just a penny stock. It's always there. It never means anything. SGov is like I forget. It's like not a treasury thing, but it's a bond. It's like a bond thing. WBS is a buyout that is closing. So the fact that it is a buy is a bad thing. It's supposed to be a sell. So if you happen to be looking at the imbalance on this, just know this thing is like $1 billion worth of WBS is coming out because they're being bought for cash and stock by somebody else. So this one I would not like unless it's a sell imbalance. But SOXL gets interesting at that 1.2 million. You know this should move, at least a little bit. Adara?
Keep an eye on USO. USO dropping. Yeah, this is actually session lows here. Axios reporting that the U.S. is conducting stealth operations to transport oil through the Strait of Hormuz. If I get any more details on this, I'll let you know. But a little bit of a drop here in oil. S&P 500 holding steady where it was.
You talked about the S&P there because, yeah, nothing's happening. So the market, nice story there, but the market just is puff, pass on that one there. What's up, KG? Yeah, thank you so much for
the big ticket.
There, the big ticket on Fabian's hair. So we want to say thank you to everybody for that. Check the link in the description. Should be up in your chat right now as well. We're getting closer and closer. I think it's now 80%, close to $4,000.
Wow.
There it is. Yeah, 3,700. So, I thank everybody else. 74% of that goal now being hit. maybe we can hit the goal just ourselves right here and watch out to see what happens with Moderna. I mean, if this thing breaks, we've now bounced off a couple times. I have a bunch of executions around 60 because I did think it was going to break and then get going. It has not broke from what I can see so far today. 160. So, that's going to be a level there. I have the high of 163. Oh, maybe it did in the morning. Sorry. There. Yes. So it did. Sorry. It has broken. My bad. I was going to say, I thought I was looking at it and it broke. But right there, 164 is the high. But I was just and if I take off all these trades that I've had, you could just see recently there, that top right there was 159.77. So it's come up into 160 before and dropped 12 bucks off of there. So again, Moderna is a NASDAQ name, so we won't see those imbalances until 10 to the hour. So we still got 30 minutes before they come out. But I don't think that's going to matter. The imbalance. This is on 162 million shares today. I mean, even if it's a couple million shares on imbalance, I feel like you could just punch long a million shares right now. I don't even think it would move the stock 50 cents. So, but 158.50 right now, that looks like a nice little high. I just want to say it's been respecting, this little break area. That's the break long on your 50 period. That's the break short on your 50 period. That's the break long again. Here's the hold. Right? Now, the thing is, you don't know if it's going to hold or break. So the hold is tougher because you might have been playing this as a short. But then when it does not continue down, you can get out on prior bar candle or a 5-minute candle and go up here. So that would have been about maybe a 50 or 60 cent hit right there if you waited 5 minutes before you got out on that break. But at the end of the day, we've really respected that level here to the upside. So I think if we're going to go long Moderna now, it would have to be this 156 area down where the 50 period lies. So that would be something there.
Oh, snap. This is not
a name that could go right here is Marvell. It's had its ups and downs today, but it's just bouncing now off VWAP. So, again, VWAP is just a line in the sand. It's not necessarily, it has to bounce off of VWAP or do whatever. It's just an area that you want to look at and make sense. Volume weighted average price. So if you add up sort of all the prices here today and then use volume, this is where, the bulls will win if it gets over that. The bears will win if it's under. So today we'll wait to see who winds up winning this one. I would say I wouldn't go necessarily long at 135.50 break right there. What about a break right here, 137.75 coming out soon? So that could be a level there. 246 is the high. So maybe a break if it eventually goes 237.80 maybe for Marvell. So just looking for that. We do have, of course, coming to market sooner rather than later is going to be Anthropic. So Amazon, a big holder there of Anthropic shares. So is Google. So when those names come, probably September, October, you'll probably get a little bit of a bump up in Amazon shares. And look at these guys, up 2% today. The market's not that bad. It's flat, so you got a nice little bump there for Amazon today. Watch out for 265, late day break on Amazon. That could get going. Google's come back in. We did get out another little piece there, so we have 20% left. We're taking out at 60s there. Thinking about getting it out here as we're trying to break a little bit lower. We'll offer some 33s. Join our friend on ARCA and get a 33 fill there as well. So let's go back over to the desk and see what Sia is up to. We'll come back to some trading with just a half hour left. There goes Moderna breaking through 160 now.
Right
it
back.
just did. So it broke 161.50, then right back in again.
Wow,
So dangerous trade, trying to trade that long through 160. We tried it already, and you saw we had to flip over into the short. But there it goes again, back up through 161. So Moderna working to the long side, and it's Sia working in the back.
Let's take a look at the money markets right now. Very close to the close. The DXY currently down on the day, 0.85%. It has increased its gains, losses a little bit here. It's almost down 1% on the day. Here we have the DXY that's trading around the $98.7 region. We're also going to take a look at two pairs as of right now. You want to take a look at USD/EUR, that is the dollar. So German 10 and 30-year borrowing costs have also hit a fresh 15-year high as of today in today's session. So doesn't say a lot on the chart over here, but the USD/EUR also down very close to 8% as of today. Finally, also do want to take a look at USD/PLN, the Polish zloty. That is the Poland is planning to change parts of its income tax system, and Prime Minister Donald Tusk has said as of today that it will benefit around 3.5 million taxpayers. Here's the USD PLN pair that is also down almost very, very close to 8% as of today. All the three names down. So for Poland, corporate income tax for the largest companies will now be raised to compensate for the revenue shortfall. Also, the Prime Minister has pledged to keep the country's high budget deficit in check. So you have USD PLN that is down almost 1% on the day. It is 1%. And then you have USD EUR that's down 0.87%, and the DXY also continuing to fall.
All right, so Trump has a meeting next week with AI people.
The top people,
That was
not
a
just
quote.
not just anybody. The top people.
Well, I mean, President Trump only meets with the
Of course.
top.
You're the president.
You know, you might as well. Only meet
Nice.
with the best over there. And
No,
then
but the other story
yeah,
was the big
Sam
one.
Altman and company there. Everyone in the chat, scam Altman. I like that one. But coming through with an IPO before it said it said no later than or something like 2027.
Yeah.
So
Which
that could be.
I'll confess I was wrong because I didn't think it would be till next year the way they were.
Well, next
pushing
year is
back on it.
2027. It was saying 2027 sooner or sooner.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be IPOing in the next 14 months or so. So
I plan to own that stock for 30 seconds to 5 minutes, somewhere in that range. Definitely. Actually, I know ideally in like 10 seconds, like Cerberus. Although,
yeah. But I think even you were knocked out.
no, but I mucked up
SpaceX,
Cerberus. Yeah, true. Like that wicked me out in SpaceX. But Cerberus, I mucked up because I held 80% into the halt instead of getting it out on the instant 10 seconds, 10% on Cerberus. And I stared it in the face and held 80% of the trade instead of getting out of 80% of the trade, which would be my normal standing operating procedure. So that was a lot left on the table. I won't do that again. Novavax, look, when Moderna did the final, here, let's go up to Moderna, MRNA. When it did that final rejection of 160, because it battled, Sean was saying, like it went broke, back underneath, back above, back underneath. When it closed under 160, I just went back to the Novavax short that if it's making a lower high, we'll jump back into it and to see if we can get it into the volume weighted average price. So that's going to be, until the imbalances, maybe this will be the one to ride with. And if it gets to VWAP, I'm just going to respect it a little bit more. Get it all out in front of the volume weighted average price, I think. There. So that's the new one. You're still, okay, FXI still a buy of 1.6 million shares. SOXL still a buy of 1.2 million shares. GDX is there for 800,000 shares. That's not a heck of a lot. But you know what time it is, everybody?
It's one time.
Yeah, the one and
One
only.
time.
One time for your mind.
I like those one-timers.
Yes. Is that Gio's?
Yeah, a great Nas reference there. We're going to take a look here at the Asian market close, which looks like it was pretty red with one ahead of the Asian overnight session that's coming up.
Thank you, Dara. So overnight Asian markets closed sharply lower, especially on escalating Middle East tensions as well as pressuring regional tech stocks. We see the South Korean Kospi again dropping nearly 6%. Global tech sell-off hitting Korean chip makers such as Samsung down 7.5%. SK Hynix down nearly 10%. Losses were also recorded in SK Square, down by 11.5%. Hyundai Motors and Kia Motors both were down by nearly 4.5%. Over in Japan, the Nikkei 225 down by 3.16%. Higher global bond yields as well as rising oil prices further weighed on sentiment there in Japan, pushing, of course, the Japan's 10-year yield to a 30-year high this week. Now, there's a lot of sell-off in semis and other tech stocks intensifying in that region as well. Kioxia Holdings down by 12.5%. Furukawa down by 13.7%, and Advantes down by 2.3%. The only green I see today in Asia would be that of Hong Kong, the Hang Seng, up marginally by 0.09%. Notable movers in Hong Kong included Xiaomi, up by 5.1%. Tencent were up by 1.1%, and Meituan up by nearly 2%. Among the notable decliners were China Unicom, biggest decliner, down by 12.8%, and that was followed by SMIC, down by 4.6%. Now, as we get into the open for the Asian markets later, keep an eye out on, of course, global rate responses to the FOMC meetings, with long-term U.S. yields currently near multi-decade highs. Any hawkish signal from the Fed will pressure a lot of growth and tech stocks in the open for Asia. Kospi, right now, order flow is going to be crazy at the open. Check the volumes, especially for Samsung and SK Hynix after yesterday's 5.8% drop. See if any stabilization funds can come in to intervene, or if it may trigger some margin calls. And with Brent crude currently trailing $92 per barrel, keep an eye out on your energy sector there. Strait of Hormuz still blockaded. We had some news from Trump about them trying to ship oil a different route, but it will still weigh a lot of Asian logistics timelines, as well as airlines, as well as chemical sectors there. So keep an eye out on that.
Yeah, lots to keep an eye on here in the Asian market segment. You can also keep an eye on this desk here at 11:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m., where one will cover the European and Asian markets respectively. Back to you.
Like he does a fantastic job of doing so. By the way, Moderna just hit the high of the day. I don't know if it, I mean, I guess I see it breaking. I don't know how clean that break was, but the second it did, it's like punch out. 1 cent before I was probably stopped out, I just punched out anyways. Like Moderna was breaking that high. If the thesis is that I was in because it was pulling back, then that plays both ways, right? The second it starts going, get the heck out of Dodge, because it's worked so far, but it doesn't mean it's going to work every single time that you're going to be able to time it right. And tomorrow, like I'll probably be thinking the same thesis unless something changes overnight. Like just play one off of the other and see if we can't work it out that way. But ultimately, like there's been nothing crazier than Moderna. And what makes it so interesting is, like I've seen in the chat, oh, this stock is worth X. You know, ridiculous numbers. Like Eli Lilly's this, Moderna could be that. And then you have others that are like, no, this is worth, you know, half of this value. Like it's completely nonsensical. And then you'll probably get a bunch in the middle. And I promise you, the analysts don't have any clue either. But they're going to start making opinions, and this is going to be wild for at least a couple of days. 160% today will not get, it's not going to do that again, but you're probably looking at double digits for a few days in a row on this stock. Trump on Iran, the blockade has been 100% successful. That's good to know.
I guess it depends how you're measuring success. You know,
that's the thing. If you create the measure of success,
I don't.
Say what you want.
I got to show everybody this, because there it is, man. You sit at the top of the day and top of the morning too, yeah. Right there, we get it. So that's a nice little trade there, as we only have 10% left of Google, and it's been a face slapper right there, a money maker. And we should give a big shout out to Ric Flair, because in order to be the man, you must, of course, beat the man. And today we beat them on Google. So that was a good one there. Thanks, Google, for coming out on that one. Yeah, legend for sure, still alive. His daughter is his daughter is just as good. I think she's like maybe 10 times Charlotte Flair, 10 times.
Well, she's a better
WWE champion.
Yeah, she's a great technical wrestler too. Like Ric Flair.
Yeah. Well, Ric Flair's still.
Well, I mean, no one would argue that Ric Flair was the greatest technical wrestler out there. He was a showman. He was the best showman, no question.
He's a great showman there.
But he wasn't like, look, Bret Hart.
Not the excellence of execution there, Bret Hart.
No, just by far the best.
Canada.
Easily the greatest technical wrestler.
Yeah, I would say we like him. So, Bret Hart. Okay, there it is, 166. Let's go. If you're long this one, if you're long on Moderna. All right, get out of here, Fiddy. 50 Cent, I think, is long this name a long time ago. But yeah, there it goes, man. Nice move up, 166. See ya later. As we take out the high of the day, this major market cap name has become even a bigger market cap name today, up 165%. There goes Moderna. And the craziest part of all of this is tomorrow, I'm going to, starting September, maybe even just starting tomorrow, I'm just going to be a different man. This Moderna 115 long. We were saying, and I was like, oh, maybe we're holding the 120 right now in the pre-market. Like, we were long this name for days, man, today. And you know the 115 level? Let's just go back and have a look at where that was. So we wrote this down this morning, 8 o'clock, 115. There it comes in, hits 115. We bought it. We bought a lot of 115s, man. And there it is now, 169er. Kicking out here near the end of the day. So congratulations anybody that had enough gumption to hold that all the way. And since then we've had some longs, some shorts. Back in our last trade was a short. You know, glad that was covered naturally. But you can see there goes Moderna to the upside, man. Check out the sticky note tomorrow for more 115 area type trades. We wrote down 219 for Nvidia. That's been a great area today. I tried it there, lost it, didn't go back, but it's been holding 219 and enough to go upside. Now it's coming back in, still flat on the day there. And the other name that I wrote down was Intel long, but that didn't. This is going to be my reddest name of the day because we tried. We tried it right into there, didn't hold. So we said, we out of that name almost ASAP. So we do cover that out, and now we have to wait to see if Intel can give us a trade tomorrow. I really like this one. Adair getting excited in the back, boy. But we're still in the dollar club there with Google. Adair just taking a sigh of relief. Let's go back over there and find out what's going on with your president.
So Trump just repeated his regular reprise at this point, which is he likes Kevin Warsh, but, quote, he has a board, and the board's very political. So we know we got the minutes earlier today, which were, I would say, about as what we expected. Hawkish tilt, but I wouldn't say outright hawkish. Certainly not dovish, though. Well, President Trump just basically kind of poo-pooed anybody who voted for rate hikes. He did address there were some votes for rate hikes. He said, I don't know what they're doing over there if they're voting for rate hikes. And he also just said in general, it used to be when the U.S. got good economic data that, everything would go well and we wouldn't have to raise rates. But now when we get good data, we have to raise rates. And he doesn't understand that. He says, quote, interest rates should go down. There's a lot happening here. He's repeating kind of the same reprise. He just said every time I hear the country doing well, he says that's too bad because now we're going to have to raise our rates. Back to you.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be independent, and we'll see. The Fed's in a tough spot. You just got to keep it as real as that. But if you look at how big the debt is, the most bipartisan thing in any country ever is that the government will continue to spend, and print money, and everybody does it, and that's just the foundation here. So rates going up, no government ever wants to see. Let's be real about that. Mm-hmm. The other thing you got to keep in mind, too, is there's not a heck of a lot. Okay, we're going to go back to Adair. It looks like I can already hear. We're going to go back to her in a second. We'll throw it up on the screen. But right here, didn't actually see this while it was happening, but on volume, Walmart, on biggest volume of the day, dropping from VWAP and actually took out like a 1.5 to the downside. I almost hope we have bad numbers, says the president. Well, because it matters more.
Sounds good.
Yeah, well, if the way the debt's going, you need rates lower. So that's how you do it. You inflate things. That's what you do. Moderna's at $171.
It went to $170.
It's like every time I look at something else, it's like the eyes just go back up to this chart. This is insane, the squeeze.
Wow, to just have known, yeah.
I wonder if the new shorts on this, it was 15% short. And usually we'd say, the short float's gone down. I feel like they've just created new bag holders because so many people probably bet against it today because it wasn't 30 or 40%. Now, there's something they're probably putting it on, being like, okay, they're just going to dig in and hope. And believe me, well traders will try that stuff too, where they just hope that it gaps down overnight, but nothing can seem to stop this thing.
No, I think it's going to be much higher tomorrow. You might see a 2-handle on Moderna come tomorrow morning. So be careful. Not one halt today. And up 170% goes Moderna because it makes sense, right? They don't need to. This doesn't need to be news pending. This is not. I mean, we already know what the story is. It started going early when you came in this morning and it was at $97, and you're wondering like, oh man, what the story was. It was 64 yesterday, 97, and now try 170 right now as it's just blasting that high of daybreak. Just at this time of day, man. I've been here 26 years or something like that, and it's like. You still learn every day, like that high of daybreak on a stock like this, let's go. Like that is a perfect situation there with momentum coming in. So just a big trade alert right there. And, forget about that. That's a trade that nobody has. We can talk about that as much as we want, but we actually have this trade. So there goes Google, man. This one, we just got out at 345 right there on the upside. So, and all I can tell everybody is, if you guys were here at 2:30 when I was talking about this trade, the stop was a break of 30. We almost got stopped out. So if you just do, that's 30 cents. This was a 31 cent worth of a shot there. Now a 3 to 4 to 1 as it goes the upside. It just cranked lower. We only had 10% left. I have 5% left now as we got out some at the top there. But good outs for me on Google today. Maybe we hold a little bit longer tomorrow, but so far so good. Only 6 minutes now. I didn't see what Trump just said there, but only 6 minutes until the imbalance is. Oh, no, he's done now. Okay.
Yeah, they're done.
So IBIT, IBIT's been a good hold, obviously. I mean, I just talked about buying the 66s, but I think it's been months. Like, I think we probably bought them back into a year. Goes all the way up, and I don't know, that definitely wasn't in June. So, but let's go. Now it's starting to go break back up to the upside. I didn't sell last time. I'm probably not going to sell now. Last time I opened up my crypto account was ages ago. I think I just got a warning, like, I better get back into there, or else I'm going to have to update my, know your customer. But $42 right there, trying to break through the 200 period moving average is IBIT. So still a little bit of room to go on IBIT before it's in a safe zone where I think you might want to start looking at a little bit of a buy zone there for crypto. But yeah, I think safely too, the low 60s if it gets there. Let's see what winds up happening tomorrow. Obviously on the Treasury news today, we already looked at TLT. That's been going upside pretty much all day there. Looks like it will close near the highs of the day, not completely at those highs, but TLT working out for many traders there. Meta, the Qs, everything. Meta just dropped though, by the way. I think the whole market's coming back in, but there's Meta bouncing off VWAP today. So it looks like after all this, the bears will still wind up winning, as the stock could close underneath VWAP is Meta. So even though it's up today, underneath VWAP is a victory for the bears. And we'll wait to see what's going on with this stock that's in the doghouse. I almost used bad terminology to describe.
Well, you could say gates of hell.
Yeah, no, I was going to use a lot worse than that.
Oh, it's in the.
No, because this is like a name like Uber, where I always say I should be getting out and I'm not doing anything about it. But Uber at 78, I mean, that magical 80. You know what? Tonight I'm going to put an offer out at 79. Just right here. Just whatever, man. Get out. If I can trim my position to half on Uber, getting a little bit of cashish, and then we'll just go from there on Uber. I don't love the name anymore. And we're still in the money. I looked at it the other day and we were still up like 13% or something. So maybe we'll cash out a little bit of Uber there if it continues to go a little higher.
Yeah, I don't like Tesla at these levels yet, but I know I like Tesla better in general. But again, with 4 minutes to go to the imbalances, this one is the one that could be something. It is now. It was an 8 million buy. It's now a 1 million sell, which is the direction that we were telling you it was supposed to be. It's about $1 billion notional, and it's a deal. It's a cash and stock deal that's closing today. So you are expecting a large number from this WBS. Everything else out here, FXI and GDX are still buys, although relatively small, I would say. And just checking back in on MRNA, it did get to 170. It's rejected. I don't think we've looked at this all day long, but why not? Just because for what's in giggles, this is what the monthly chart is on Moderna. For what it's worth, when we're joking around about $180, that is kind of a level on, not that levels matter, but it's the only one here other than this on the monthly at 170, which we just broke. So there's 180, there's 225 out here. Like this stock, people can forget about this back in the COVID phase, just how crazy this was. Like it was set to be in textbooks. And if it pulls a Carvana, it definitely will be in textbooks, but for a much, much different reason. So somehow didn't hold today, which I'm still very, very skeptical of as to why that was true. My brain is telling me that there's like a person with the finger on the trigger that turns the halt bands on and off on stocks. And it felt like multiple times today, the halt bands weren't even on because you couldn't find them in the book. And then 20 minutes later, all of a sudden I could see them again. And you could be looking at them to trade off. But that is what it is. We saw it with penny stocks. We've seen it all the time. But with a couple of minutes to go into the imbalances, it's really just this WS for me. It is a sell, so it is trying to come back in here. But because it's cash in stock, there's like an arbitrage thing. The acquiring company, people could just say they want to flip it. So if it comes out a buy, it's like a very quick, you do not want to be caught short if this comes out the wrong way. I'll leave it at that.
All right. I just want to say that we are now 2 minutes away for those imbalances. So we'll have a quick little look there. I'm just getting out of some Google now. It's falling a little bit. Like I said, we only have 5%, so we'll get out a little bit more now on Google as it's just making its way back into some levels that I like right now. But I'm not buying it. Not with these are going to populate, and we're going to start to wait to see. So come back in just a couple seconds, and we'll talk about these imbalances. What's up, Adira?
Keep an eye here on RX. This is Recursion Pharmaceuticals. This name just spiked, and I checked the volume on this 3-minute candle was about 200,000 shares, so pretty significant. Citrini of that whole software scare note earlier this year apparently initiated a long on the AI drug discovery theme. RX would be part of that theme. This stock, which is a $3.50 stock, is currently at session highs. Back to you.
Okay, there's another runner in there for you. But the other thing, it was just asked in the chat by Lozo, what would it mean if ETH closes over the 200 SMA? Well, are you talking about on the daily? You can't be talking about on the daily, because if you're talking about on the daily, it can't. So you must be like, I don't use the intraday. I use the 50 and the 200 on the daily chart. That would be nearly impossible for it to get up there. It gets at 16 now, would have to close over 17. But in generally, I like if you're breaking back out above the 200 period. But like Brian said, you much prefer when things flatten out, consolidate, and then go. So you'd almost want this to flatten out and then start upward trending, which would be somewhere in the back half potentially of the year. We have 30 seconds till the bounces, so we're waiting for that.
I was gonna say I told Marissa that we had meatballs and pasta for lunch, and of course,
they were okay.
She's making pasta for dinner. So I told her, let me pick up the sausage. So Joe, any recommendations where I should get some sausage from?
Where could it be?
Over there, my guy. So
where could it be?
You'll be seeing me at the local Farm Boy, where I will be getting the El Diablo sausage, the spiciest sausage they make, El Diablo. All right, we're open right now. There goes Ethereum, ETHA going off there with a little bit of a buy. You never expect this to move because it's tied to Ethereum. So, all right, wow. Nvidia with a decent sell, almost 2 million shares. You just saw that one go down to 217 right there. No, we're not going to see it now. Nebius down right there, down, up, but down on the day. Nebius down 12%, catching a bid, 1.6 million shares. Cisco with a quick little sell-off there as well, down to 111. MSTR, we talked about MicroStrategy and, what they involved with. That's up 12%. Someone wants to come in and buy that one. IBIT, also a quick little buy there as well into the close. That's IBIT. So it looks like the major name. Oh, I didn't see Netflix. Ooh.
Yeah, 1 million.
Netflix back to 80 now? I like. Nice pricing there for Netflix, finally back up to 80. But I guess it looks like Nvidia. Nvidia just grew. It was 1.6. Now it's 2.5.
What the heck is this?
So LBRDK? I don't know what that is.
That is gigantic.
Nvidia getting bigger on the downside. As Moderna, I don't see it on here, but I do not need to, because Moderna right now at day's high, 173 change right there. Nice move on the upside for the market here into the close. Okay. Downside for the market, but upside for, wow, Moderna's gonna take down 175 like it didn't even exist right there almost. Big size there coming.
It's like there isn't an offer on that stock. LBRDK, there's like a merger between them and Charter. That's why I just forgot about it. So don't pay too much, I wouldn't say don't pay too much attention to it, but it's not like Nvidia or the other imbalances. That could go either way. It's like an exchange of shares between the two companies. So Charter's there a buy, and LBRDK is a sell. That kind of offsets each other, so no opportunity there. That WBS it is a sell, but yeah, I don't know. That scared me out of it. I thought it came out as a buy because it shot up and I just punched out, and it looks like it is still a sell. I'll wait till 355 on that bad boy. But that Nvidia growing sell, market heading lower. We started the day thinking, hey, the Treasury has saved everybody by supporting the long end of the curve. They didn't support diddly squad, apparently.
Yeah, they got to buy some. Sit in there and buy some.
They got to do something else.
Got to buy some more Intel.
Buy something. AMD's probably getting destroyed. It's at 460.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's headed lower. But this never caught a bid.
Finally, I made a right decision selling something or buying something these days. AMD got out of that one near that 520, 530. All right, if we're ready, see has prepared something. We can go over to Money Talk. So why don't we just do that right now? We were waiting for that, that little imbalance to dry up a little bit there. So we'll go really quick, man, and we'll go back over to Sia for a little bit of look there at the dollar.
Let's take a look at the crypto markets. You have Bitcoin right off the bat is up over 5.5% on the day, closer to 6%. It's trading around the $68,400 region. Ethereum is up well over 9.5%, inching closer to 10%. And Solana is also up 7% on the day. U.S. President Donald Trump was talking with top crypto executives as well. We do know. So I'm just going to check levels of Coinbase and Robinhood also with you. Robinhood currently up 4% on the day, trading around the $95 region. And you have Coinbase that is up 9% on the day, trading around the $159 region.
All right, quick as can be. Thanks for that one.
176.
I'm still trying to watch. Yeah, Moderna's gone. I'm just still trying to watch out for this Nvidia trade. It's now a minute away from the major pairing event that happens at 2:55 or 3:55, where we get, basically the last major update, and then it will just float around into the close, where it can still grow or, be decreased. But generally speaking, big blocks coming in there at 3:55. So we'll be able to watch it. Part of me is saying I need to be punching into the long now, but you're not really. If it was a little lower down into 217 and change, then I think the long might be part of the story. But let's just give it a little. We can give it a little bit of a look here. Let's make sure we sort it by size there, so we have it the right way, and we'll highlight some Nvidia. So 2.26 million with only 30 seconds left. I mean, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot out there. We saw the Netflix trade coming through. Oh, Palantir. I'll go back to Nvidia in a minute. 800,000. Palantir at 175 has been pretty good. That's been a good level there. Yeah, MSTR is up 12% today. It was on that list as well. Okay. Here we go. Just stay with me for 12 more seconds. We'll go over to Neil. I just want to see what winds up happening here. If this does pair off, we'll highlight Nvidia. We can look 2 million. Watch the price action. You'll know even before the algos get it first, and then they'll be able to tell. There it goes. So it does not pair off. It must go lower there. Yeah. So there's Nvidia. See. So it pairs off a little bit, but still 1.4. So there's the decrease there. If that shot up, then you knew that that number had switched over to a buy or had been paired. So the reason why it continues to go down is you still have 1.4 million shares that are going to go to the sell side at the close. So they're just bringing it down so you can get a better equilibrium price where the buyers and sellers will meet and execute a roughly 11 million share print as of right now at close for Nvidia. It'll do 11 million, this plus this, at the close. So it'll do about just over 10%.
Now ETH
actually 15%. Yeah, Ethereum was always there. It was the biggest one. Yeah, I don't know. But it wasn't moving because it was Ethereum, right? Yeah. So we'll wait to see, but there goes Nvidia right now, 4 minutes left. Still more downside pressure.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously everything in crypto's had a fantastic day today. TLT is going to be in there.
Get out of Google.
But this is something you're going to have to watch, but it was a head fake on TLT. Because when TLT was bouncing, the market didn't bounce with it. But obviously the treasuries are going to be a big time mover. Yeah, it's completely insane. That 180 level that we were joking about because it was on the monthly chart of Moderna. It's so close to it right there. Easy peasy. Thank you for the donation. Obviously, we have the best. We know we have the best community out there, but you guys continue to be more and more generous every single day. Whether or not you're donating via Moderna funds from any longs that you might had or whatever it might be. Thank you so much for contributing. Man. Chop for charity. And if you don't know what it is, scan the QR code. You can click the link. It's in the description. It's in the chat. Pretty easy to find there. So, we want to thank Fabian for coming up with that notion. I mean, someone's got to step up and do it. We don't have the hair to pull it off. And it's a fantastic cause. And we appreciate everybody that's donated to the cause. And, we're going to get to that goal, and then we're going to reset it at 10,000. I think we've already determined the goal is really 10K, not the 5K. And we do feel we can get there. And again, it's going to a great cause. Moderna doesn't want 180. The high is 176.66, because that's not ominous enough. Why not? 176.66. That would be pretty poetic if that ends up actually being.
I think this is gonna.
You think it?
I think by 405 it's 180.
I was gonna say aftermarket, yes. Current market, because the problem with 180 is there'll be too many closed sellers at the even dollar. So what'll happen is at a big obvious price like that, there'll be sellers at the close that usually just hold.
There's a chance it gets there, man. And there's still 2.5 minutes left, and Moderna only needs $4. Like this name could get to 180 pronto. This is not going to be the closing price. It's going to be much higher. I think it's going to be higher than 176.66. But I'm not willing to put my money down. I'm not buying this right here into close. But other people are, and that's all that matters. There it goes, 176.20. Ooh, stops there. Look, see that? Like it was just 176.20, right back down $2. This is not in my world. In our world, these are bigger moves because it's $2, $3, $4, $5. But
on the stock, it's
in the
nothing.
stock, it's nothing. Like it's not. So it's just, this is why it's a very risky trade if you're on a prop floor or using other people's money, because you got to make sure about where your stops are and what you're looking at there for Moderna. But all right, Dave has a trade of the day.
Dave's got his goldfish trades a day. Moderna put, but we're talking about November 20th, $90. And also you've got December as well at 100. What goes up must you know. You know what? Most stocks, look, 99 times out of 100, if there is a stock that we're talking about on the show that's up 177%, I'm saying the exact same thing with you. The difference in Moderna is this is actually a real story with real actual consequences and an addressable market and an amount of revenue that I don't know that anyone can wrap their head around, because what if this is just the beginning of then other possible treatments? Like, there's a there that you can't quantify. This is not some random Chinese ADR that came out of nowhere. It's up 180%. I tell you all day it's going down. And we believe that. Like whatever the one was that we were talking about earlier, that Chinese ADR, I bet you it's at the lows right now. I'm sure it is. But Moderna, just play the momentum. But good luck to you, Dave. I'll hope it works out. Generally speaking, you always want stocks to go up for people, but if you're betting short, why not? But yeah, this is unique. It's not the same thing as these other gappers, right? This is a real story. I thought it's gone too far the entirety of the day. I'm just glad I didn't try to short it.
Yeah, we just took one trade here and this afternoon. This Google long worked out, so happy with that one as we get ready. I'm pretty tired here. It's Hump Day. We want to thank everybody for watching us there as we get our voice. Losing our voice at the end is always a good thing, better than at the beginning. 2 and 1 as we wrap that up on what is better known as Moderna Wednesdays, not Monday. It would be nice if it was Monday. It would be Moderna Monday, but there it goes. So yeah, that looks like that is the closing high, 176.66. So as Neil said, pairs of sixes in there. We don't like to look at that, but we'll see what winds up happening with Moderna overnight. And good luck to anybody that's holding any kind of a position on this one. I mean, I'd like to see both win. I don't know how that's going to be possible, but we'll see tomorrow for Moderna. I still think it is very possible that this will be over $200 by the time tomorrow hits. You just need someone in the space to say something positive about this name. I think it shoots up. Hey, maybe your boy.
I wonder what the Blue Ocean traders will be trading today.
Yeah, who knows?
If you're on Blue Ocean, it's probably going to be that was Shkreli.
Yeah, let's see what Martin Shkreli has to say.
Short.
Pharma boy.
I got a dollar somewhere.
all of
Well, there's
that.
a quarter right here that's probably one of ours. So the quarter says that if he says anything, it's that he's short.
I mean, if he's
I mean,
long,
that's obvious.
I don't think he's going to say anything, but
No, he probably doesn't. But if he does say something, he'll say short.
Yeah. Or of course he's long from $60 or something. But anyways,
you might say that.
There goes Moderna upside. Not too many earnings to report on today. We did have Target, which really led the way. Tomorrow we have Walmart off in the morning. So Walmart's up 5. Target's up 4 or 5%. It was during the highs, maybe 6% there. So we'll check tomorrow with Walmart. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Options as my top of my cap goes flying off there. We'll say a big shout out to Sharif, and hopefully he travels well. He's going to be. You do have the one and the only, and Obi can tell you all about his trade in Moderna tomorrow, where you'll find out you will find out that the reversion did not work out for him. But he'll talk about that there tomorrow, I'm sure, as he's always an honest guy. So we'll hear about that tomorrow. You did not want to try to revert too much today on Moderna, but there was opportunities for it. So we'll see if that can be traded tomorrow. Moderna's right up his alley. So tomorrow, get ready for that one. Joe and Obi on the midday should be a lot of fun trading over there as well. Thanks to the one and the only. He came through today again for those Asian updates. We saw Tiffany doing his thing. Always a thanks to Fabian.
A great interview in the middle of the day as well.
Yes, we want to thank our friends there.
Great job, Adara.
Great job by Adara, of course. Ramin is here as we count down the days till we don't see her for a while. That'd be sad.
That's right. Well, it's happy sad.
We got to figure out. I'm still waiting.
Sad.
We got to find out the exact date. So we got to do something on that day for her.
I'm trying to give away some. I told Ramin, I'm like, hey, we have a bunch of old baby stuff we ain't using. Like, I'm gonna take pictures.
Bring it in.
You want it, you can have it. Exactly. You might not like it, but trust me, it's free. So, all you have to do is
$3.99.
$3.99.
All right, Joe, Sharif, Adara, Sia, everybody. I don't think we missed maybe Andre. I think we got everybody. I think.
Brendo.
Brendan, Brendan's doing something over there anyways. No one really knows what.
He's typing away.
All right, we want to say a big shout out to Brendan. Yeah, producing this wonderful show
Yes.
of ours.
Just picture Brendan. He's got the headset on, talking to someone on the phone or typing an email.
Yeah, he's doing something. He's chewing some gum over there. He's got it going. I know we know sometimes we have the Brendan camera, but I don't think that's available yet today. All right, we'll see you guys. It's a lovely day here in Toronto. I hope it is wherever you guys are as well. We'll catch you tomorrow on Thursday when who knows
Moderna
what stock
200
will be trading.
or 140?
Probably Moderna is probably a good guess. We'll see you tomorrow. SpaceX maybe.